Alas, ancient town is a remote ancient town left over from the cowboy gold rush in the western United States. Every early autumn, black crows that block out the sun gather in this town from all directions. Whenever crows come, the residents of the town say that at night, they sometimes hear strange sounds coming from underground. Therefore, this small town is also known as Ghost Town. 3 years ago, a Chinese special police instructor became a police officer here, and 3 years later, he became the highest security officer in the town. Let's start our story with him becoming the director of an American-style police station. Keywords of the novel. Days of being a police officer in the United States. No pop-ups. Days of being a police officer in the United States complete collection download. Latest chapter of Days of being a police officer in the United States reading. Chapter 1. The new police officer is a beauty. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. The new police officer is a beauty. Highway 7, located north of the Flaherty River in Montana, USA, next to the town of Alaska. This is the only state and county road in the town of Alaskaman that is connected to the outside world. Reported by the public, racing gangs are rampant on the section of Highway 7 near Alaskaman town. Wang Dingming's Ford police car is hidden in a dense white oak forest on the right side of the road. He has been in the forest for 2 consecutive days, waiting for the racing party to emerge. Catching speeding is a technical task. Whenever Wang Dingming sees an extreme speeding car, his mood is as eager as preparing to kick the door and rush into a hotel room to catch illegal men and women. He is an excellent hunter, but today he feels like a strange and chaotic day that is not exciting. Just being a door kick is far from enough. Perhaps listening to the radio has affected my mood. Billy got a few women. The police found 5. Were they all skinned? They were partially skinned. This is not where you sleep. He stood tall and scolded a stray dog sleeping in the soil. The awakened stray dog sneaked away stealthily. Under the sinking sun, the main peak of Mount Luakalai stands on the horizon, emitting a mysterious aura. It was indeed a day without any harvest. A black Mercedes-Benz whizzed from the front, flashed past, and the alarm sound of the car-mounted speedometer immediately beeped. The speed is 176 kilometers, and the speed limit sign on this section is 90 kilometers. Flying very low. Pressed the switch for the roof warning light, stepped down and pressed the accelerator all the way down. The police car's engine roared, and the whole car seemed to be falling apart. In China, when chasing racing enthusiasts, police officers usually hold a big horn and shout, "Whoever, pull over and park." This is not the case. As long as the police car keeps following you with its lights on, you have to pull over obediently and not get off the car. Sit quietly in the driver's seat, waiting for the police chief to question and fine you. After seeing the police car, the Mercedes-Benz turned on its turn signal, slowed down, and leaned towards the roadside. Wang Dingming approached the car, driven by a middle-aged man in his 40s wearing a white T-shirt. As he wrote the ticket, he smiled with a hint of mockery and said, "Brother, I've been waiting for you for 40.8 hours, you know." The driver also smiled and said, "Is that right, buddy? If I knew you were waiting here, I would have rushed over quickly as well." Wang Dingming clasped his sunglasses on the tip of his nose, revealing his 2 eyes. He answered fluently enough, but he actually accepted the slang from the American police. Is it his colleague? Suddenly, the phone rang. The phone was called by my colleague Cardinal Ray from the police station, and the voice was very urgent. "Wang, Barack was killed by someone. Just now, the suspect was driving a black Mercedes-Benz with license plate number XXXXXX, heading towards your direction. Pay attention to interception, pay attention to interception. Black Mercedes-Benz, car number, that's the car in front of me." Wang Dingming had not yet regained his senses, and the driver remained silent. With a single gesture, he held a pistol and fired at him. "Fuck me." At the moment when the firecracker-like gunfire sounded, Wang Dengming turned around like lightning and fell to the ground. At the moment of falling, he counterattacked. A bullet hit the suspect's temple. The suspect may not even understand until his death that Wang Dengming could still dodge at such a close distance. The suspect never expected that the fastest draw speed of this mysterious card-copying patrol officer was 0.30 seconds. He was not the kind of police officer who would only lie behind the car and shoot empty guns. 2 weeks later, the city police station gave special commendation to Wang Dengming for his brave and witty behavior, appointing him as the 41st sheriff of the Alaskan Town Police Station, the highest security officer in the town, the youngest in town history, and the first foreign sheriff of the town. Today is Wang Dengming's 7th day as police chief. He is comfortably lying on the crocodile leather chair in the office. The chair is really nice, soft, and has a cool and slippery feeling. In other words, he went from an ordinary police officer to a sheriff and was promoted. He doesn't know whether he should be happy or not. He has just become a police chief, and his butt hasn't even heated up yet. Some people jokingly call him Captain Cockroach. Why is he called Captain Cockroach? Because he is the only police officer left in the police station, and Sheriff Wang can only associate with cockroaches. Alaskan Town is located too far away, like a forgotten corner, but the town has a large area. Most towns in the United States have a small population, with some having only a few thousand or even a few hundred people. But Alaskan Town is a bit unconventional. It is said that this is a gathering place for descendants of cowboys in the West, and it is impossible to determine whether it is true or false. Within the entire jurisdiction of the town, including the surrounding villages, farms, grasslands, etc., the population is close to 20,000. On both sides of the main street in the town, there are many old wooden houses with unique layouts, rough and durable structures, which are said to have been built by cowboys during their gold rush in the West. A strange house is not strange. There is the oldest gallows and guillotine in the town, and to the south of the town, you can still see the fortifications and defense lines that Native Americans used to fight against Western cowboys. In the central part of the town, the Governor General's office, which was established during the British colonial period, is preserved. In some parts of the town, there are also small railway tracks buried for transporting gold mines. Along the railway tracks, the oldest abandoned taverns, dance halls, gun shops, and duels can be found in the open wilderness. Even the wind and air in the town seem to be filled with the smell of gold mixed with mud and earthy smell from 100 years ago. The office building of Wang Dengming's police station, which is used as a facade, has a pointed roof but has been renovated internally. The appearance has not changed, it looks very stylish, and the symbols of the times are particularly heavy. At first glance, it makes people doubt whether they have traveled through time, but the scale of the police station is not much different from a small inn hiding wild chickens on the roadside. If it weren't for an old American flag fluttering high on the roof, and a wooden sign at the entrance with a few English words for the police station written crookedly, no one would believe it to be the town's police station. The police station used to have a prominent logo. In the 1920s, a bronze sculpture of a Western chief hero mounted police officer with a Colt revolver on his waist was placed in front of the station, looking like a tiger, but one night, he was taken away by thieves and horses. The descendants of cowboys perfectly inherited the uncontrollable traits of their ancestors, took advantage of them, were aggressive, drank excessively, gambled, flirted with girls, became jealous, and lacked martial arts ethics. Fighting in the town is very common, and using knives and guns is commonplace. Due to the remote location of the town, there are often robbers, fugitives, murderers, and others who like to hide here. So, the security here is very poor, and when we start fighting, we don't even know who will hit who. It is said that Detroit, the American city, is the capital of crime. Compared to big cities, the town of Alaska is like a condensed version of Little Detroit, with everything from robbery, murder, violence, kidnapping and extortion. In such a chaotic situation, the police force in the town should be absolutely sufficient, but the fact is completely opposite. The police force in the town is scarce, extremely scarce, just like endangered species. Reason: the remote location, limited funds, large jurisdiction, and hardship are all objective factors. At first, there were 7 or 8 police officers in the town who were recruited locally. The U.S. police system was the most chaotic, complex, and unrelated system in the world, and residents of the town had the right to recruit police officers on their own. Strangely, the police officers in the Alaskan town police station seem to have been cursed and are prone to braiding, resulting in extremely high mortality rates. They either get chopped to death, shot, drunk, or commit suicide. Look, Barack is a living example. Since the establishment of the Alaskan Town Police Station on June 13, 1875, a cursed tragedy has begun. A police officer who attended the opening ceremony of the police station was inexplicably electrocuted and killed in duty by a clear sky thunderbolt that came from somewhere. From that day on, the curse history of the police station has never ceased, and there is a trend of increasing severity. I don't know from which year on, the town of Alaskumeng was called Ghost Town, and the police station in the town was properly named Ghost Police Station. Especially in the past 2 decades, the police department has been struggling to recruit a police officer, much like a Miss Universe beauty pageant. Therefore, it was difficult to recruit police locally, so the town of Alaskumeng entrusted the county police station to send police. The county police station got annoyed and kicked the ball to the city police station. For over 100 years, no one knows where the curse came from, and the Ghost Police Department in Alasku Town has long been notorious. Few foreign police officers are willing to work in the town. When they come, they will find various reasons to quietly run away. If they cannot, they will directly submit their resignation report. The person who killed Barack was the speeding man named Maripi who fired at Wang Dengming. It was Barack who sent him to prison. Old police officer Cardinal retired with honor on the 3rd day after Barack was killed. From 7 or 8 to 5 or 6, from 5 or 6 to 3. There are 3 police officers in a police station, and if you break off 2 fingers, now the Ghost Police Station is left with only Wang Dengming as a lone child. We can't continue like this. A sheriff doesn't even have a bag-carrying subordinate. It's not about swallowing pills, feeling the Holy Spirit, opening cheats, and finding the leader's feelings in dungeons. He decided to apply to the city police station for the rapid transfer of 2 police officers. After grinding his lips for 3 days, the damn city police station reluctantly agreed, but also said that the police force was really tight, so one was transferred first. Wang Dengming said, 1 for 1. I asked him again about his requirements for the new police officer, which really stumped Wang Dengming. The Alaskan Town Police Station not only has the title of the Ghost Police Station, but also has a nickname in the mouths of foreign police. The Problem Police Shelter. As long as the police who come to Alaska Ancient Town have some indescribable defects, such as drunkards, gamblers, slackers, old fogies who disobey the command of the leadership, bad lifestyle, loose police discipline, poor professional ability, and those who are punished for violating discipline, if it has to be condensed into 1 sentence, 4 words. Slag police. Wang Dengming thought carefully for a long time and replied to the above request. Just live. If it's a bit luxurious, it's best not to drink. The city police station readily agreed. There is no problem, dear Mr. Sheriff. Today is the day when the new police officer comes to report. As a new officer, she must pay attention to her appearance. Wang Dengming's facial features, overall, do not exceed the upper and lower limits of the normal range. When not laughing under normal circumstances, it gives the impression that this person has a cool and intense aura. When he gets angry and grits his teeth, the muscle tissue in his chin immediately reminds people of some kind of biting force that can crush stones. In the town, there was a 3rd-rate foreign writer who claimed to be a senior screenwriter. He came to the town to seek inspiration. Once, he saw Wang Dengming on the street, but he didn't know what was going on. When he saw Wang Dengming, who was serious and gritted his teeth. He stared at his two bulging upper and lower jaw muscles and wrote Wang Dengming into his script. He played a small role and called Wang Dengming a mad dog sheriff. The third-rate writer felt that Wang Dengming's bite force was absolutely amazing. Before he sent the script back to the film and television base, Wang Dengming caused him trouble, saying that the author had serious suspicions of infringing on his portrait and reputation rights. After serious negotiations, the author had to change the name and turned a mad dog into a fierce dog. After teaching a lesson to a third-rate writer, Wang Dengming realized his police appearance problem and how to adjust it. He understood it and had deeper considerations. The police appearance could make do, but he couldn't lose his national character just because he looked fierce. Therefore, he learned from a flight attendant, biting his chopsticks and practicing smiling in the mirror for an hour, trying not to bite his teeth and wearing a smile like a gentle spring breeze. The city police said that the person who came will come to report at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's already 11 o'clock, but no one has been seen yet. At December 15, noon, it was already past work hours. It seems that the new police officer will not come. It is likely that he was persuaded to leave by the name of the Ghost Police Department. Although he was very disappointed, he still prepared to make a phone call to inquire about the situation. Suddenly, his door was knocked open with a loud thud, which startled him, and he put his right hand on the holster. A police officer carrying a black suitcase appeared in front of him. "Are you Sheriff Wang?" "Yes, you are." "Sheriff, intern police officer at the city police station. Jones Meady, ID XXXXXX, has been ordered to come and report." The person brushed their legs together, gave a standard salute, looked straight at him, and waited for him to speak. Wang Dengming blinked a few times and said, "Female. I didn't call her." "Sheriff, you're looking for someone who doesn't drink, so the city police station sent me over." Wang Dengming scratched his head and said, "Female police officer, interns, do the masters of the city police station think this is a police academy or training base?" At this moment, Jones Meady was sweating profusely on her face, with sweat on her nose and her breath still not fully balanced. Obviously, she had rushed over. After listening to Wang Dengming's words, Jones Meady took a few deep breaths and tried to maintain a calm tone, saying, "Sheriff, I apologize for my lateness, but..." After that, she paused for a moment. Wang Dengming tilted his head, gesturing for her to speak but with the words behind. "But... you shouldn't doubt my abilities. In fact, personally, I believe that my abilities are disproportionate to such a small town." Proportion. Jones Meady's first impression of Wang Dengming was confusion. No need for identification, one beautiful girl. Her face is rosy and smooth, her eyes are clear and blue, and her skin is tender and dripping. No matter how she looks, she doesn't look like a police officer. Especially her two slender and round legs, standing still, give people a sense of jumping and soaring. This is not a modeling company, nor is it a film company. But the person in front of me was clearly wearing a new gray-black police uniform and an octagonal police cap. Wang Dengming suddenly thought of the lead actress Angelina from the earliest movie version of Tomb Raider. This policewoman has a bit of a mysterious and fierce, spicy and provocative taste. Of course, her lips are much more beautiful than Angelina's. Angelina's lips are really too fat and thick. Okay, just for this aura, I admit, you're a police officer who distracts me. Newcomer, what's your name? John Smeedy. Okay, Sister Paper, Sheriff, what do you call me? Sister. What did you call me? Sorry, your name is a bit complicated. What's your name, Jones Meady? Well, Jones Moody, you don't seem very willing to come to me, so why are you here again? I must obey the orders of the city police station. If the sheriff is not satisfied, you can ask the city police station to replace someone else. After finishing speaking, Joan's body remained straight, with her abdomen and chest tucked in and her gaze level forward. Her pupils remained fixed and she didn't even glance at Wang Dengming. After thinking for a moment, Wang Dengming said, "Okay, I will meet your requirements and transfer you away." Wang Dengming's hand reached out to the phone, his fingers dialed the number, but his eyes were slanted at John's maid. Jones Maddie's pupils finally turned downwards, staring at the red phone. When the phone rang, she reached out and lightly pressed her right index finger to cut it off. "Sheriff, do you really don't want me to explain why I'm late?" What Jones Meady didn't know was that Sheriff Wang didn't call the personnel department of the city police station, he called the water company. The water pipe in the police station's backyard has been leaking a bit these days and needs someone to come and fix it. The two of them stared at each other like cockfighting chickens. In the end, Wang Dengming blinked first and extended his broad and powerful right hand, saying, "All right, you won. Welcome to Aslaga town in Devil's Paradise." Jones Mediton smiled and extended his fair right hand, saying, "Someone said the sheriff is a skilled fighter, really." Her hand, placed in Wang Dengming's hand, became even more delicate and delicate. Wang Dengming smiled slightly, released her hand, and said, "Have you ever inquired about me?" "No, I heard from the hallway of the city police station that you subdued 5 armed criminals on your own that night to save Inspector Faderly." "That's 5. How did you do it?" "What you mean is, you admire me or admire me, you can choose either." Jones Maddie tried to hold back, wanting to laugh. Wang Deng pondered for a moment and said, "Okay, to put it another way, do you believe it or don't you believe it?" "I don't know, I didn't see it." Many people hold a skeptical attitude and there are many rumors. Some people say it's a rumor, and Sheriff Faderly didn't explain it either. "When I saw you as a person involved, Wang Dengming smiled with a hint of self-deprecation and said, "It's a bit illogical. 1 against 5, even I think it's a rumor. What others say, I have no right to interfere, do you think?" Although Jones Meddy hesitated for a moment, he dared not speak further. Wang Dengming encouraged her, "Keep going." So, Jones Smeedy looked up and down at Wang Dengming and said with a rude smile, "It said that the person that night was a professional assassin. You must have been beaten down by someone." Wang Deng suddenly widened his eyes, staring exaggeratedly. Jones Meddy quickly corrected, "You ran away with Inspector Fedley, didn't you?" Wang Dengming narrowed his pupils, squinted his eyes, and held his chin with both fingers. Jones Meddy corrected again, "It must have been Sheriff you blocking the criminals, acting as a cover for Superintendent Faderly. After the sheriff was out of danger, you were beaten to the ground." Dear readers, new books require support. If you feel that this book has not tarnished your sacred eyes, please collect it and recommend it. Bobo salutes you. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. The Chief Strategy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. The Chief Strategy. Wang Dengming couldn't help but smile and ask, "Your imagination is really rich. What major are you studying?" "Criminal law major." "No wonder." "Sheriff, you haven't answered my question yet." Before Wang Dengming could figure out how to explain, Jones Meady's question came again. "Why did you come to this town to become a police officer? Isn't it better to stay in Chicago?" Wang Dengming asked, "Do you know about this town?" "I don't understand, this is my first time here." "Do you know our police station is called the Ghost Police Station?" "I know, let's not talk about the police station for now." "Sheriff, you haven't answered my question yet." Wang Dengming pondered seriously for 4 or 5 seconds before answering with a smile, "You can go ask Inspector Frederick." Jones Maddie naturally couldn't continue asking and smiled, "Okay, I'll definitely ask if I have the chance, but at least, I can guess that you must have some connection to Sheriff Fedley when you're here, right?" With a thumbs up, Wang Dengming smiled and said, "Smart child, you already know. Why don't you ask? Let me arrange it for you first. Our dormitory is located in the backyard of the police station, and there are 6 rooms. Apart from mine, you can choose one yourself." Jones Meddy's guess is absolutely right. Wang Dingming's visit to this town is not only related to Frederick, but also to him. As the #1 instructor at the W City Special Police Training Base, 3 years ago, he suddenly chose to retire. He arrived in Chicago, where he had a close ally who opened a martial arts school called Hu Dongmen. Hu Dongmen thought he was coming to join him, and at first he was quite happy. He said that our brothers could work together to achieve a great success in Chicago, but Wang Dingming didn't want to hang out in the martial arts school. Hu Dongmen was very disappointed and asked him what he wanted to do. Wang Dingming said, "Other things, no, catching thieves is definitely not a problem." He believed that with all his abilities, being a federal special agent in the White House was not a problem. Hu Dongmen immediately gave him a large basin of ice water, pouring it down from head to toe. To become an American police officer, first of all, it is English. So far, Wang Dingming's English proficiency has made Americans feel like they have a lump all over their body. Next is the program, such as green cards and residency rights. Finally, you have to naturalize before they can make you a police officer. After naturalization, fill out the application form for becoming a police officer, interview, written test, background check, and so on. After completing these tasks, you also have to go to the U.S. Police Academy for training. If you don't pass, get lost. Wang Dingming was already forced at that time. Just as he was conflicted, that night he saved an American sheriff who came from Polson to Chicago to attend a police exchange conference. He was Frederick, holding a position equivalent to that of a director of a typical city's public security bureau in our country. After learning about his situation, Frederick quickly and mysteriously obtained a green card and said, "I know there's a place where there's a shortage of police. Would you be willing to go?" Wang Dingming asked, "Can messy programs be saved?" Frederick said leisurely, "Of course, the program is completely free, the salary is high, and the future is limitless. There won't be any deceit. You just need to start writing and sign." Okay. Wang Dingming followed Federer to the city of Polson. Federer personally recruited him into the police force and signed a special employment contract with him for a period of 5 years. Why is it 5 years? Becoming a U.S. citizen is not something that can be achieved through citizenship. You must hold a green card and have lived in the U.S. continuously for at least 5 years before applying. If Wang Dingming does not naturalize in the United States and does not renew his contract in 5 years, he will forever lose his qualification to become an American police officer. So, Wang Dingming became an American police officer. But Frederick's actions are also troublesome, as Wang Dingming is not yet an American citizen. But Frederick is willing to do so. That night, Frederick thought he must be dead. Unexpectedly, a savior appeared like a ghost, making Frederick dumbfounded. It was like the exaggerated fighting movements in a movie, with painful screams coming and going. He saw the bandits nearby, kicked far away by this fierce savior like a lightweight cloth bag, falling to the ground in the air, and making a heavy thud 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 thud. Wang Dingming thought Frederick would keep him in Polson as a police officer, but Frederick threw him into this remote town, where he was still a small police officer. When Wang Dingming first arrived in the town, it happened to be early autumn and he saw old crows everywhere. Wang Dingming asked catingly, "What is the situation?" Cardinal Ray said, "Don't you know that Alas Gumeng's nickname is Ghost Town?" Wang Dingming asked, "Is it because of the crow?" Cardinal said, "Perhaps, crows are ominous things." Wang Dingming asked again, "Where do these crows come from?" Cardinale said, "Who knows, autumn comes, spring goes, and the earth rotates in a regular pattern. I don't understand why you came to Alaska to become a police officer. Not only did you die quickly, but your salary wasn't high either. It's not cost effective at all. I understand, the city police really can't find anyone to bring you here. Wang Dengming also understood that after working for a long time, labor and management came to bear the thunder. Moreover, the high salary promised by Frederick, to be honest, is the salary of a rookie-level police officer. Not to mention the boundless future. You can't be such a person, at least I am also your benefactor. Frederick explained, Great Xia, I have already repaid your kindness. I have processed all your green cards for you, and you have also become a police officer, which is far beyond the scope of repaying kindness. You should quietly stay in the fierce town of Alaska, keep a low profile, quietly work, and not let anyone know that you are not American yet. This is beneficial for you. Let's treat it as melting in the melting pot of the United States for now. The second point is that throughout the United States, you have a strong killing spirit, and there is no place more suitable for you than the ancient town of Eris. That place requires police with explosive combat power to be able to hold it down. Wang Dengming felt a bit uneasy in his heart, but Frederick changed his tone and said, if you're afraid, go back to your home country. Even though he knew it was a thrilling tactic, Wang Dengming threw 2 words over. Fuck. XXXX. The ancients didn't say that when the heavens descend upon a great person, they must first work hard on their mind, strain their muscles and bones, and starve their body and skin. Then let's melt them first. This fusion lasted for 3 years, and life was not bad or bad. Compared to the police in our country, the American police are more like a mixed complex of police officers, traffic police, urban management, security propaganda officers, and neighborhood committee ants. From neighborhood disputes, drunk driving and speeding, to hostage-taking and bank robbery, they are all within their scope of responsibility. Wang Dengming always feels so busy that his heels are not touching the ground. There is really no cheating, and there are only 3 people in the police station. Even if they try to cheat, there is no mud left. He is constantly being chased around by Barack like an tireless little shepherd dog, feeling frustrated and his teeth are itching. Sometimes he even thinks of kicking Barack into a cesspit. Now it's good, the town of Alaska Mungjan is his territory, with 1 acre and 3/4 of land. He can plow as he wants. But if it's more precise, it should be called How to Operate This Ghost Police Station, which Barack often talks about. In the eyes of Wang Dengming, Sheriff Barack is worthless, but this philosophy derived from the essence of police throughout his life can be called a philosophical statement. Good start. As soon as we recruited, a beautiful female subordinate arrived. Finally, there was a soldier. Wang Dengming once imagined what the new person would be like as a 3-no police officer. Unexpectedly, she was an intern policewoman and a beautiful policewoman. The conscience of those old men at the city police station still seemed to have not been completely extinguished. Very good, very good, very good. Although he felt that the intelligence of this female police officer was a bit inferior, her curiosity was too strong and she asked some seemingly unpleasant questions. It's okay, Wang Dengming comforts himself. He has never taken an American intern police officer before, and now it's his first time. To cultivate an American intern police officer into an excellent police officer is a heavy and arduous task, and it is said to be more difficult than having a child for a woman. If one is not careful, what should they do if they are misled? 20 minutes later, Jones Meady tidied up her room and arrived at Wang Dengming's office. Jones Meady asked, Sheriff, should I collect my equipment first? It seems that the police department doesn't have an equipment department. Wait a moment. Wang Dengming left the office and will be back soon. He was carrying equipment. A duty belt, 2 magazine bags, a police flashlight, a baton, a pair of handcuffs, a pepper spray, and a remote walkie-talkie. After Jones Meady took it, he frowned and said, Why are they all old? Wang Dengming said leisurely, Newcomer, first of all, you need to change your mindset. Don't treat me like a police station, just like a security company. I don't have many rules and procedures here. The city police station abandoned us a long time ago, and this set of equipment was finally assembled. You should be satisfied. Joan's Maddie looks like she wants to curse. She checked and said, "Where's the gun? Why don't you have the most important thing?" "Don't worry." Wang Dengming took out a gun from the drawer, and Joan's Maddie couldn't hold it back anymore. "This is a Mize revolver, model M629, isn't it? This antique gun is too old and has too little ammunition. It's still old. It's not good. I want the G17L, M9, M1911 as well. I forgot what I told you again. This is a small police station, don't be so picky. Don't think this gun is ugly and old. If it weren't for the fact that you are a beautiful girl, I'm sorry, I should call you a beautiful policewoman. I wouldn't be willing to give it to you. This gun has a big origin and a name. Do you know what it is called?" Joan's Meaty flattened her mouth. "Listen up, it's called the Lucky Spear, also known as the Six Dynasties Elder. It's okay if you don't understand what it means to be the Six Dynasties Elder. No, when you come here, that's the Seven Dynasties Elder. Our police station is called the Ghost Police Station, and there are often police officers who receive boxed meals. After 3 years of analysis, observation, and final summary by this police chief, anyone who uses this gun will have a good start and a good end, with a great fortune, better than a bulletproof vest. You understand?" Joan's Maddie instinctively picked up the gun and looked left and right. "Sheriff, what gun are you using?" The phone rings on the desk. Wang Dengming answered the phone, speaking Chinese. After Wang Dengming hung up the phone, Joan's Meaty casually asked, "Is there a police call?" Wang Dengming smiled and said, "Have you ever tried Chinese cuisine?" "Very rarely, I've eaten steamed buns and pancakes, they're really delicious," said John Meddy sincerely. "Okay, just match your appetite. Bring your lucky gun and let's go eat." Good. The two of them drove into the Ford police car that had been around for nearly a decade and left the police station. The town is already sparsely populated, with even fewer Chinese people coming here. Half a year ago, a young couple who claimed to be husband and wife opened a dumpling restaurant in the town. Wang Dengming, who has rarely eaten local food, became a loyal guest here. The owner of the dumpling restaurant has the surname Liu, his name is Liu Hongsheng, and his wife's name is Chen Qing. Liu Hongsheng is not very good looking, introverted, not very talkative, and not much different from a mute. But his craftsmanship is quite good, especially when he makes those snacks. These days, he has fed Wang Dengming fat. Chen Qing, the cooking skills are not good, but people are really pink, delicate, and graceful, even more beautiful than flowers. They are all Chinese, and Wang Dengming, who is about the same age as Chen Qing and his wife, naturally likes to socialize with them. He gradually understands that Chen Qing and Liu Hongsheng are both college students who have not graduated for a long time and both like small towns with fewer people. They share the same interests and come here to open dumpling restaurants. Wang Dengming certainly believed Chen Qing's words, but he always felt that these two were not like a couple who always looked awkward. Why was it awkward? Wang Dengming still hasn't figured it out. One thing, Wang Dengming noticed that this couple seemed to be hiding something intentionally or unintentionally. He didn't want to ask, it was someone else's business, and what was your relationship with it? What surprised him the most was that when he first came to this dumpling restaurant, Liu Hongsheng saw him with a nervous expression on his face. It was Chen Qing who stepped forward to greet him, avoiding embarrassment. Therefore, Liu Hongsheng's first feeling was timidity. The name of the dumpling restaurant is For Seas for Home, with 2 red headlights hanging at the entrance. It is located in the middle of the main road in the town, which is called Johnny Street. As soon as the two of them entered, perhaps it was because scarcity made things more precious. There was only one Chinese restaurant in town, so their business was pretty good, and today it was the same. The seats were almost fully booked. Chen Qing saw Wang Dengming coming and ran out of the door to greet him. Wang Dengming whispered in his hometown dialect, "Are you still inside?" Chen Qing said softly, "Yes, as you said, as long as they come again, they will call you." Very good. But they have a lot of people today, and I regret it. I shouldn't have called you. It's okay, just do your business. As soon as Wang Dengming finished speaking, he walked into the dumpling restaurant with Jones Meddy. He was looking for someone when he suddenly heard boos and whistles. I'm going to gouge out their eyes, a bunch of thugs. Jones Meddy was furious. The hissing and whistling came from a table by the window on the street. Those people were all thick and sturdy, dressed strangely, and had even more peculiar hairstyles. Hi, Sheriff Lantern, what a coincidence. Come to our place. At the inner end of the dumpling restaurant, a person stood up and waved his hand. The person who greeted Wang Dengming was a big black man named Greichuan. Wang Dengming and Jones Meddy came to them. New here. Oh, my goodness, it's the angel who asked God for leave. Are you allowed to come to this place where the barbarians live? Jones Meddy replied, your little mouth is so sweet, thank you. When Greichuan spoke, although there was a hint of humor, he was very friendly. There are 4 people at his table, each with a scorpion embroidered on their arms. These people are members of the scorpion gang in the town, and Greichuan is the leader of this small gang. This guy doesn't call Wang Dengming Sheriff Wang because his name contains the character Deng. So, I don't know which day he will call Wang Dengming Sheriff Deng. It doesn't matter what Greichuan calls Wang Dengming, just don't call him Benla Deng. Wang Dengming said, Chuan Yi, come on, let me introduce you. This is John Meddy, the new member of the police station. Hello, John Meddy. Hello. Greichuan extended his right hand, and Jones Meddy also extended his right hand, which was considered polite. But her eyes were fixed on the big table by the window, where there were 7 people, each sturdy. The leader, with a beard and a pair of protruding bull eyes, always wears a hint of crimson. The upper end of his bulging chest muscles looks completely stable for a paper cup filled with water. His name is Tu Gordonbu, and he is also an acquaintance of Wang Dengming. He is nicknamed Wild Bear and started as a boxer with black boxing. It's this group of people whistling and hissing in waves. This group of people is somewhat similar to Greichuan and others, with tattoos on their arms and chest, marked as half a blood-red moon. They came to the town about a year ago, and this gang called the Blood Moon Gang opened an entertainment club in the town. The saying goes that one mountain cannot tolerate 2 tigers. Their relationship with Greichuan was very tense. They had a secret fight once, and Greichuan's people were no match at all. Greichuan was beaten to the point where he drank a bucket of urine from Tu Gordonbu to escape the disaster. Before Tu Gordonbu arrived, Greichuan was the biggest thorn in this town, and even Barak dared not touch him. However, Wang Dengming ignored so much and caught the thief first. Greichuan was cleaned up by Wang Dengming, and the security in the town suddenly improved a lot. After the arrival of Gothenburg, he became even more prickly. Greichuan and Barak dare not arrest him, let alone Tu Gordonbu. Barak only focuses on earning a little money and a little salary. As long as there are no major issues, he will have a perfect ending until retirement. Just like this police officer, but under the pen of that third-rate writer, he became steady and experienced, based on the overall situation, an elite in public security, and a role model for police officers. This is the most unpleasant part of Wang Dengming. Barak doesn't care, Wang Dengming is in charge. Frederick is right, Wang Dengming is the most damn and serious police officer in the history of the town. Wang Dengming's approach has taken a 180-degree turn in the town residents' understanding of the people of Rabbit Country. Are you still from Rabbit Country, the naughty foreign police? Equal treatment, Wang Dengming has caught Tu Gordonbu's younger brother several times. Therefore, as their bond deepened, Tu Gordonbu publicly threatened several times to show Wang Dengming some color. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Who is the boss? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Who is the boss? After Barak was killed, the 2 little brothers of Tu Gordonbu were on the street, pouting their buttocks at Wang Dengming's police car. Wang Dengming rushed forward with a baton and beat the two inconspicuous things with a crackle, hitting them to the death. As a result, both of the two thugs were sent to the hospital. The doctor said that these two thugs with pursed buttocks needed to lie in the hospital for at least 3 months. As a result, the hatred between Tu Gordon-bu and Wang Dengming has taken it to the next level. In the United States, provoking the police is pure suicide. Tu Gordon-bu doesn't care. When Barack was still young, he was not afraid of 3 police officers at the police station. Now, Wang Dengming is the only one in the police station, standing alone. If there is something wrong in the town, even if there is a gunfight, there will be no reinforcements. The police in the county cannot save nearby fires from afar, and Wang Dengming can only rely on himself. This is a very dangerous signal. After more than 3 years in the United States, Wang Dengming classified criminals into 6 categories based on his own experience. ABCDF. Class A, who can correct their behavior through education or intimidation, has 0 danger level, is a good citizen. Class B, and after being sent out of prison, they receive education and return to society. The danger level is level 1, second to good citizens. Class C, those who have been imprisoned for more than 2 times and can still return to society after receiving education, are considered bad and good citizens, with a danger level of level 2. Class D, those who have been imprisoned for more than 2 times but still do not change their behavior, and those who have been imprisoned for more than 3 times but still plan to enter again, are boldly considered as troublemakers, with a danger level of level 4. Class F, the highest level of danger, is further divided into 4 levels by Wang Dengming in this category. A thug who treats the prison like a person returning home. Madman level, a person who constantly roams prisons with violence and drugs. A warrior level, who is not afraid of death through violence, has wisdom, culture, and mind, and has also been imprisoned. The final level. Death level, is the kind of person who, without warning, suddenly pulls out a gun and shoots you in the head without saying a word. This type of person is the most frightening and difficult to prevent. Many police officers in America are killed in this way. Wang Dengming classified Tu Gordon-bu as a warrior in Class F. He is not afraid of the police, women, society as a whole, God, hell, and others who do not love him. And this guy has a great brain. Tu Gordon-bu always causes trouble by asking his younger brother to take action, while Wang Dengming is constantly anxious and uncomfortable. He hides behind him and laughs as he watches Wang Dengming's nose smoke with anger. After Wang Dengming was just promoted, Tu Gordon-bu couldn't hold back any longer. He planned to conquer the world in one battle. Before Wang Dengming could establish a firm foothold, he wanted to personally take him down. He wants to control Wang Dengming. By controlling Wang Dengming, he is equivalent to controlling the police station in Alasku town. Although it is not a unified martial arts world, it is still possible to unify the black and white sides of Alasku town. This is a wonderful, simple, and highly controllable plan. Of course, Wang Dengming clearly felt Tu Gordon-bu's serious provocation, and this was exactly what Wang Dengming hoped for. He was not in a hurry. Just wait for the point where you made a mistake. When you made a mistake, it would be easy to handle. Both of them were holding the same sentence. When will the climax come? Today, Wang Dengming felt that this point had arrived. But he still said in his mouth, "John Smeedy, don't pay attention to them." Sheriff. The President of the United States is being scolded, and he can't do anything about it. If someone says something to you, you can't do anything to them now. They're not breaking the law yet. Let's sit down and eat. Greichuan nodded and bowed, saying, "Yes, Sheriff Deng is right. Both of you, the restaurant is full. Why don't you join us for dinner? It's my treat." "All right, it's rare for Mr. Chuan to be so generous, so you're welcome." The sheriff spoke up, and Jones Meddy snorted in frustration. With a hint of disdain, he scanned Wang Dengming. Wang Dengming knew what she meant, thinking he was afraid and bowing his head to the other party. Sure enough, two Gordon Boo became increasingly excited, with an unbridled appearance, as if they were police officers. Wang Dengming pretended not to see anything, ordered dishes, dumplings, and snacks. After everything was ready, Wang Dengming ate with relish, while Jones and Meaty ate in anger. Several people sitting next to her commented on her and even laughed loudly. She tried to draw a gun several times, but was stopped by Wang Dengming's eyes. Jones Smeaty didn't know how to use chopsticks and was restless. While eating, she slapped her chopsticks hard on the table and said, "Sheriff, I'm applying for a transfer." After listening, Wang Dengming stuffed a dumpling into his mouth and swallowed it before saying, "When you really want to leave after dinner, I will let you go. Come on, I'll teach you how to use chopsticks." After listening, Jones Smeaty patiently asked Wang Dengming to teach her how to use chopsticks. However, her eyes still glared at the table next door, but the more she did this, the happier the table next door became. Greichuan then advised, "Jones, Matty, enjoy your lunch well. You're so lucky that you'll be able to see a surprising show as soon as you arrive." Jones Meaty's nose shrugged, not wanting to say anything. In a fit of anger, she only wanted to leave the town quickly and didn't want to stay for a moment. He didn't understand Greichuan's words and didn't listen carefully. A boss like this is not worthy of being her superior. He heard rumors about Wang Dengming at the city police station, which were all fake. It's really embarrassing. Wang Dengming glanced at Greichuan and smiled, saying, "Master Chuan, let's eat some vegetables. Don't talk nonsense." Greichuan possessed himself and whispered, "Sheriff Lantern, I've been waiting for a long time for the big show to take place." Wang Dengming tapped his chopsticks with chopsticks and said, "Chuan Yi, at least you also often eat Chinese food, so why are your chopsticks worse than Jones Smeaty?" "Is that right?" After finishing these two words, Greichuan whispered, "Sheriff, it's time to explode." They're leaving. Sure enough, the people next door were about to leave. They got up and left, but Lu Hongxing stopped them. Two Gordon gave them a fierce glare and said, "We'll give them credit next time." Lu Hongxing said weakly, "You've already been on credit 4 times, haven't you?" Two Gordon Boo's eyes widened and he said, "What's wrong with the 4 times? Plus, this time it's only 5 times. Is that a lot? You stingy guy, don't we have money? We have plenty of money. Next time, we'll definitely give it when we come back." Lu Hongxing couldn't help but look in the direction of Wang Dengming. Wang Dengming silently nodded, indicating his agreement. So Lu Hongxing quickly said, "It's possible." Two Gordon Boo chuckled proudly and even looked at Wang Dengming. Seeing that Wang Dengming had no reaction, he left the restaurant with a crab-like walking. Jones Meaty stood up and pointed at Wang Dengming, so angry that she couldn't speak. Wang Dengming knew what she meant and smiled leisurely, "Don't worry, let's take action here. What if we break the restaurant's things? Go ahead and exercise your power. I'll be there soon." Jones Matty was momentarily taken aback, then drew his gun and chased after him. Greichuan smiled and said, "Sheriff Deng, keep an eye on them. If they don't pay for their meals, it's illegal. You have to treat them equally. Whatever you do to me, you have to do to them. Otherwise, I'll find a lawyer to sue you." Wang Dengming was about to answer when he heard a loud gunshot outside. "Emma, let's go alone." Wang Dengming was so scared that he quickly ran out. Just as he ran to the door, there was another gunshot, and Jones Smeaty was seen shooting at one of Tugger Denbu's henchmen. Bang bang. 3 shots in a row. The frightened unlucky guy was jumping like a bouncing ball, panicking and jumping. Just now, Wang Dengming didn't know what was going on. It was probably because the dancer had angered Jones Smeaty, but Jones Smeaty didn't dare to shoot at the target's body. He just shot at the target's feet, and the person naturally jumped around. However, a bullet hit the concrete ground, bounced back, and hit the thug's calf. In an instant, this guy covered his calf, howling loudly. Upon seeing this, Tu Gordon Boo took off his black T-shirt and rushed to Jones Meddy bareheaded, shouting, "Shoot, shoot, little beauty, shoot here, shoot my fragile little heart, kill me on the street." Wang Dengming discovered that Tu Gordon Boo had a scar on his body, with a bullet hole on the lower right shoulder and a long, deep, and wide knife wound on the left side of his chest, extending from the position of his left shoulder blade to his right abdomen. Wang Dengming's eyebrows furrowed. And Joan Smeedy was so excited that her face turned red, but she dared not pull the trigger. Wang Dengming spat out the toothpick from his mouth, lowered his head, and came between the two of them, standing still. Tu Gordon Boo cursed loudly, "You incompetent scumbag." Before Tu Gordon Boo could finish cursing, Wang Dengming suddenly hit him with a right hook on the chin, and this time, he threw the guy straight out more than 2 meters away. The onlookers cheered and generously gave Wang Dengming. Tu Gordon bit his teeth, propped his chin, and checked for dislocations. Fortunately, his teeth didn't fall out, but they were quite loose. He had heard that Wang Dengming could fight, but he never expected this Chinese police officer to be so capable. He understood the weight of this punch. Tu Gordon Boo is a bit confused. "Son of a bitch, dare you hit me? You keep saying you want to give me some color to see, come on, come over." Wang Dengming's pistol was coldly pointing at him, with the other hand holding handcuffs. Tu Gordon Boo spat out a bloody spit towards the ground, waved his huge fist, and shook it in front of Wang Dengming, saying, "Damn it, there's a way to throw away the rotten iron in your hand, fight. I want to fight you. Dare. Dare. Yellow skin monkey." Wang Dengming gracefully spun the pistol in his palm for a few laps, then with a swish, inserted it back into the holster and threw the handcuffs to Jones Meddy. In this situation, as an American police officer, Wang Dengming can choose to shoot and shoot all the bullets from the pistol in one go. Although Tu Gordon Boo has no guns or any attack weapons in his hands, you have threatened my life and hindered the normal law enforcement of the police. However, in the United States, where everyone has almost a gun, shooting and killing one person is not considered a skill. After killing one Tu Gordon Boo, a second Tu Gordon Boo will immediately emerge, which is equally difficult to handle. What Wang Dengming needs is to subdue Tu Gordon Boo from his soul. "I won't make you feel comfortable today, and labor management will change their name to Bastard from now on." He hooked his little tail finger. Tu Gordon Boo immediately shouted angrily, "Damn it, you're going to kick your asshole." He swung his huge fist like a bowl and rushed forward. The onlookers are not calm anymore. Just gave this police officer a round of applause, and you were foolish. Why didn't you shoot? Why, you idiot-like little fool, you will die unsightly. The police and thugs officially compete on the street. Such street fights are rare and exciting, but they should not happen. This Chinese police officer will definitely suffer, and the street fight will end within 3 rounds. Someone sighed. It's over. The last police officer at the Alaskan Town Police Station is about to be code, and the station is going bankrupt with a 100% chance. As the onlookers thought, Tu Gordon Boo had absolute confidence. He dared to bet that Wang Dengming would never dare to confront him head-on. He wanted to crush this despicable Chinese like he would crush a cockroach. Bang! 2 fists collided, and Tu Gordon Boo instantly felt like his hand bone was about to break, with a heart-wrenching pain. Looking back at the police officer, as if nothing had happened, he looked at him with a smile. Tu Gordon knew that he had encountered his opponent. He is a seasoned person who knows how powerful it is and dare not be arrogant anymore. In fact, Wang Dengming also felt a pain in his fist, but it was not as severe as Tu Gordon Boo's pain. He could completely bear it. The crowd erupted with another wave of enthusiastic applause and cheers. Roar! Tu Gordon Boo attacked first. Wang Dengming let out a cold snort in his nose, took 2 swift steps forward, flew up in the air like a swallow, and kicked Tu Gordon Boo over with a swift kick. Tu Gordon Bu just got up and pounced with his fist, still punching straight, which was his strongest strength. However, Tu Gordon Bu had not yet seen Wang Dingming's moves clearly and was knocked down again. When Tu Gordon Bu's fist hit, Wang Dingming used a combination of footwork and technique. He first flashed his body to the left, grabbed the opponent's arm and pulled and twisted it outward, hit his elbow towards the opponent's chest, and then inserted his right foot diagonally to trip up, causing Tu Gordon Bu to fall. On the black boxing ground, it's all KO knockdowns without any pretense, one punch after another, and one foot after another. Tu Gordon Bu has never seen this kind of knockdown before, he's a bit stunned. Get up. Wang Dingming's little finger pointed at him again. Tu Gordon Bu is furious. Roaring loudly, like a raging lion, strike with all its might. Dong! Tu Gordon Bu's fist had not yet hit Wang Dingming, but he received another punch on the forehead and fell straight back. Wang Dingming punched ahead of him. Bitch! Tu Gordon Bu really fainted this time, and several Wang Dingming appeared in front of him. He shook his big head vigorously. Waiting for you. Roar. In the roar, Tu Gordon Bu was not only angry, but also in a desperate posture. Wang Dingming understood, but this time, he didn't want to give him another chance, so he took action. Tu Gordon Bu certainly wouldn't show weakness, as the two collided. Wang Dingming had no reservation and launched a storm-like attack. In just 20 seconds, Tu Gordon Bu suddenly realized that he had made a fatal mistake. He shouldn't have fought against this Chinese guy alone. What it means to hide strength, what it means to pretend to be a pig and eat a tiger, Tu Gordon Bu is also a master. But today, he miscalculated, seriously miscalculated. He was amazed to find that under the fierce attack of his opponent, he only had the ability to parry, but had no ability to fight back. The other party not only had unparalleled punching speed and ghostly steps, but also immense strength. This little police officer, who used to have a sweet smile like a girl, was completely two people with different souls. Every punch from Wang Dingming hit him with a banging sound. The wild bear, known for its brute force, was blinded today. He fell to the ground for the third time, and this time, Wang Dingming did not pause or raise his tail finger, but showed no mercy. But Tu Gordon Bu only focused on covering his head with both hands, ignoring his tail and allowing the Chinese police officer to beat him like a sandbag. The onlookers forgot to applaud and were stunned. Joan Smeedy saw the situation was not good and quickly approached, saying, "Sheriff, you will kill him." End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Self-purchased electric stick. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Self-purchased electric stick. Tu Gordon Bu's subordinates finally understood what was going on and rushed up in a frenzy, wanting to besiege Wang Dingming. A person who didn't know what was good or bad shouted and rushed forward first, but was directly slapped by Wang Dingming on the neck and immediately fell to the ground. Following closely, there was another person rushing towards him. Before he could get close, he suddenly gave a strong side kick, bang. This person was kicked away by Wang Dingming and fell a foot wide, covering his chest and shouting ghosts on the ground. Is there anyone else up there? The members of the Blood Moon gang looked at each other, and no one dared to go up again. Everyone, hold your head in both hands, get down on the ground, get ready. Speaking of you, and you idiot. Joan Smeedy immediately stood up and shouted, holding up his gun so, in front of the door of the dumpling restaurant, there was a row of strong men with both hands holding their heads, neatly lying on the ground. A female police officer pointed a gun back and forth at their head. John Smeedy, go and ask, how much do these people owe the restaurant in total? Yes. Sheriff. Later, Joan Smeedy reported, Sheriff, $900. Wang Dingming crouched down, rubbed his thumb and middle finger, let out a beautiful whistle, and smiled, cash or credit card. Tu Gordon Bu's eyes were bloodshot, but he had no choice but to ask his subordinates to give him $900 in cash. You are suspected of obstructing law enforcement officers and intentionally molesting female police officers. Dear, you have been arrested. After Wang Dengming finished speaking, he broke his hands and handcuffed him up. Tu Gordon Bu screamed in pain, but struggled desperately. Bastard, I've already given money, give it. Why are you arresting me? Why do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I won't let you go. It's an honor to know that you won't let me go. What are these people going to do? Jones Smeedy pointed to the group of people holding their heads and asked, let them go, our police station has limited police force. Don't waste your police force on this group of people. Stop the team. Amidst Tu Gordon's furious roar, he was caught like a chicken by Wang Dengming and stuffed into a police car. And his group of subordinates could only watch helplessly as the boss was captured. The onlookers finally understood what was going on, with thunderous applause. In the police car, Jones Meady was driving, and in the back seat, Wang Dengming was leaning against his seat, stepping on Tu Gordon cloth with one foot. This thing, still wanting to resist, was stepped on by Wang Dengming. Returning to the police station, Wang Dengming kicked Tu Gordon Bu into the detention room and went to his office with John Smeedy. When he came in, the first thing he did was make a phone call. Hello, could you please transfer to Inspector Mengaliao? Upon hearing this, Jones Maddie quickly asked, what are you calling the sheriff for? Don't you want to leave? Jones Maddie pressed the phone and said, why are you so stingy, sheriff? The two of them were talking, and in the detention room on the right side of the office, there was a loud and piercing tapping sound. It was the sound of Tu Gordon Bu kicking the iron fence in the detention room. Let me out, I need to find a lawyer. I want to see my lawyer. I really want to beat him to death, said John Smeedy. Wang Dengming smiled and looked at her from head to toe, saying, can you fight it? Jones Madison paused for a moment and said, do you have an electric stick? Yes, the voltage is very high, made in Germany, with high power. It's definitely impressive. I paid for it myself. Do you also need to pay for this equipment yourself? I forgot what I said to you again. This is an abandoned small police station, and many things have to be paid for by oneself. Wang Dengming pulled out a thick black electric stick from the drawer beside his desk. What do you want an electric baton for? It's for. Jones Meady carried the electric baton to detention room 4. Jones Meady stabbed Tu Gordon Bu, who was handcuffed to the iron railing, with an electric baton. Ji Wang Dengming clearly saw an arc flashing on Tu Gordon Bu's body. Quiet. But Tu Gordon Bu just took a physical jerk and said, you his mother me. Jones Meady opened the detention room with a key and swung an electric baton, beating Tu Gordon Bu fiercely. What's wrong with electricity? That guy didn't fall down for a moment. Wang Dengming opened his handcuffs and said, be quiet, it's good for you. Tu Gordon Bu's eyes turned even redder. Wait for me to go out and kill the two of you. I swear. Outside the custody room, Jones Meady pounded the electric baton and said, water goods. They must be water goods. Can't you pay more for genuine goods? Impossible. How could an electric stick be a fake product? Wang Dengming really hit his arm, and in an instant, he let out a whoop, jumping up like a spring. Sheriff, are you okay? Wang Dengming grinned and said, damn it, that bastard isn't afraid of electricity. Jones Maddie covered her mouth and smiled. Wang Dengming tilted his gaze at her and said, you're laughing at me for being a fool, aren't you? No, Sheriff, I mean, he's still cursing us. Then let him curse. Jones Madison stared blankly. Wang Dengming walked towards the detention room, and Jones Meddy was taken aback and quickly followed suit. In the detention room, Tu Gordon still roared and wanted to hit someone. Wang Dengming didn't dodge and remained silent. As Tu Gordon Bu rushed forward, he tapped a finger towards a part of his rib. In an instant, Tu Gordon Bu sneezed first. He felt a slight numbness all over his body. When he regained consciousness, Wang Dengming and Qiang Smedey had already left the detention room, locked the iron fence, and watched from a distance. "Sheriff, why didn't you teach him a lesson?" "Wait a minute. How long will it take to wait?" "It depends on the person, this will take about 20.30 minutes. "And then what?" Then again." Wang Dengming brought a stool and sat next to the detention room. Tu Gordon Bu is even more angry. The thumb-thick iron fence was shaken by him with a clattering sound. No matter how he scolded or provoked, Wang Dengming just looked at him with a smile on his face. About 20 minutes later, Tu Gordon Bu finally felt something was wrong and rushed to the iron fence, roaring angrily, "Bastard, what did you do to me?" When he roared, his teeth were no longer smooth, like a stutter. Jones Meddy was curious, why is he stuttering when he speaks? Wang Dengming smiled but remained silent. 3 minutes later, Tu Gordon Bu no longer had the strength to shake the iron fence in the detention room. He stood strangely, leaning as if he couldn't stand steadily. "Damn it, what did you do to me? I can't even move half of my body. What did you do to me, you bastard?" Tu Gordon Bu cursed and cursed, unable to support himself, falling to the ground and struggling. Only his right hand and right leg could move, while his left hand and left leg showed no reaction, as if paralyzed. Jones Meddy felt a bit scared and asked, "Sheriff, what's wrong with him? Why can only half of his body move? Look, his mouth is also crooked." Wang Dengming dug his ears with his fingers and smiled, saying, "It still works." He stood up and walked to the iron fence, laughing, "From today on, you'll have to hire someone to serve you." Tu Gordon Bu is still cursing, "Damn it, I won't let you go." "Okay, I'll wait for you not to let me go." Why did Tu Gordon Bu behave like this? It was Wang Dengming poking one of his fatal acupoints. There are dozens of dead spots on a person's body, and true combat masters are well versed in it. Wang Dengming is one of them, and this is his unique secret. His master repeatedly warned him not to use it easily. But for guys like Tu Gordon Bu, the usual method is not to make him obedient, and they must use unprecedented ultimate moves. Practicing martial arts for 18 years, today marks the first fasting. Tu Gordon Bu was fortunate enough to become his first experimental mouse. As for the effect, Wang Dengming is not very satisfied. It takes too long to take effect and can be used as a yin move, which is perfect for situations like this. However, if used as a combat move to defeat the enemy, it still requires a long period of hard practice. End of this chapter. Chapter 5, Let Me Poke It. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5, Let Me Poke It. The reason, according to Wang Dengming's analysis, may not have reached the level of fire yet, so it is definitely not enough to defeat the enemy. However, using this seemingly useless acupoint technique to interrogate stubborn suspects, the technique is just right. This may be an unprecedented and unparalleled yin move. Just like Tu Gordon Bu, he is quite suitable, with a strong and sturdy body. The master told him that people with weak health should not be disorderly, as it is easy to have problems. Of course, Jones Smedey didn't understand the truth behind it. Wang Dengming hummed Jones Meddy's incomprehensible tune and went for a nap as if nothing had happened. Jones Meddy was very curious and didn't leave. She wanted to see what would happen next. Slowly, as time passed, the person inside began to blush, turn white, turn blue, and breathe rapidly. Jones Smedey was frightened and quickly went to knock on the door of Wang Dengming's room. Wang Dengming yawned and said calmly, "What's going on?" In fact, he is looking at the watch in the room. After clicking on the heavy acupoint, the time should not be delayed too long, otherwise it will cause serious physical injury to the person being acupointed, even fatal. Wang Dengming would not want to sacrifice Gordon Bu's life, nor would he want to harm him through such hidden means. This is the basic martial arts virtue of a martial artist. But Wang Dengming had to go to death and interrogate his soul in order to make scumbags like Tu Gordonbu obedient. Tu Gordonbu I can't die, don't disturb me. After Wang Dengming finished speaking, the door slammed shut and he went back to sleep. An hour and a half later, Jones Matty came running quickly. Bang 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 bang. Bang 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 bang. The prisoner can't do it, can't breathe, there's a risk of suffocation. Is that right? After a while, Wang Dengming entered the detention room. I admit defeat, Tu Gordonbu's intermittent path. Wang Dengming crouched down and slapped his left face with his right palm, saying in pain, I'm sorry, boss. I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. It's too late, too late. It's not possible now because of your lack of cooperation. You missed the best treatment time. I am deeply sorry to inform you that there is no cure. You will live like this in your life, crawling and living, and you will feel worse than death. I'm going to sue you to death. What are you accusing me of? You abuse lynching, you are despicable and shameless. Wang Dengming chuckled and said, thank you for your praise. Everyone who accuses me in the town says how despicable and shameless I am. Listen up and listen carefully. The following words are quite important. To accuse me, you have to provide evidence. I can swear that no one in the entire United States of America can find out what I have done to you. I promise that you cannot let anyone find out the reason for your paralysis. You cannot even bring God over. Tu Gordonbu was filled with suspicion and suspicion. What else do you want to say? Okay, I'll give up, I'll surrender, we can discuss. Talk nonsense. You just said you wanted me to sue me and wait for me to take a wheelchair. No, it can't be like this, it can't be like this. This kid's face started to turn pale. Jones Meddy was also foolish. She didn't expect this dinosaur-like guy to be so scared. What Jones Meddy didn't know was that if Wang Dengming hit a acupoint like that just now, not only would her body be extremely uncomfortable, but her psychological fear would also be very strong. If she accidentally collapsed, and for a lifetime, then Wang Dengming shook his head and gestured for Jones Meddy to go out with him. In the detention room, Tu Gordonbu was really scared and tried to climb up to the iron railing. He trembled and extended a hand, like a drowning person, calling for help from the people on the shore. Sheriff, we can discuss it. If there are some discussions, we can discuss them. What are you howling about? It's so noisy, don't scream. You're dead, this time. Wang Dengming flew away. Jones Matty asked, Sheriff, is it really incurable? Of course not, wait until his mind completely collapses before we can untie him. Unbind. It's just treatment. In half an hour, you come call me. Okay. Half an hour later, Jones Meddy invited Wang Dengming. At this moment, Tu Gordonbu couldn't even speak, and his eyes seemed to be rolling. Well, it's almost there. Wang Dengming turned his head and poked Tu Gordonbu's chest, and his breathing became much smoother. However, he still collapsed on the ground, wanting to climb but unable to get up. Wang Dengming asked Jones Meddy to help him up, and then slapped Tu Gordon on the back for a while. Finally, Tu Gordonbu stood up. Wang Dengming smiled and asked, is it comfortable? Tu Gordonbu didn't speak, but foolishly looked at Wang Dengming. There was a crocodile tear in the corner of his eye, and he didn't know if it was really scared, if it was sympathy, or if it was triggered by a meridian, and the tear glands in his eyes were also stimulated. But this is no longer important. what's important is that there is no fighting spirit in his eyes, which is what Wang Dengming wants. Jones Matty tried to call him, hey, hee, talk. Give me water, I want water, I want water. Jones Smeedy quickly poured him a large glass of water. Gordon Boo gulped down his breath and touched his chest, panting incessantly. He looked like a person who couldn't run a marathon but was struggling to reach the finish line, miserable. Wang Dengming. Gordon Cloth. As soon as Wang Dengming pronounced his name, Gordon Boo, like a duck, instinctively straightened his neck and quickly replied, yes. Jones Mitty laughed so hard that tears almost burst into her eyes and said, this is not roll call. What are you doing so loudly? Wang Dengming also smiled and said, this bastard must have been in prison for a long time. Conditional reflex, Mr. Gordon Boo, I'm kind to tell you. Don't say anything, I'll give up, I'll surrender. Wang Dengming nodded and said to Jones Meddy, he has finally come to understand life. Sheriff, give it a chance. Gordon Boo's pitiful appearance is completely different from him a few hours ago. Who is the boss of Alaskumungshan? You, it's Sheriff you, I'll give up. Wang Dengming stared into his eyes, nodded, and smiled, if you dare to provoke trouble again, you won't be as lucky as this time. You will be paralyzed, you will be a whole person. Gordon nodded like pecking rice. I admit defeat, I want to go out, you need to ask Officer Jones Meady, if she agrees, I'll let you go. Gordon looked bitter and said to Jones Meddy, Sheriff Jones Meddy, I shouldn't have done that. Let him go. Wang Dengming then asked Gordon Boo to come to his office and give a statement. After asking him to sign, he smiled and made a gesture of invitation. He also sent it to the door. When he saw his collar wrinkled, he was ready to flatten it for him. Gordon Boo jumped up like an electric shock and screamed like a woman, no. No, 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 no. Damn it. Don't touch me, don't touch me. After speaking, he stumbled and risked everything to escape from the police station. Jones Matty laughed back and forth upon seeing the situation. Gordon Boo left, and Jones Meddy walked up to Wang Dengming's desk and said, Sheriff, can you tell me what you did to this villain, is it witchcraft or witchcraft? I can't explain it to you all at once. Sheriff, you have made me very, what is it? I believe it, what do you believe? I believe your rescue of Superintendent Frederick is a fact, not a rumor. I see, your eyes are full of admiration. You are such a thick-skinned person. I have never said that I am a humble person. Okay, I think as a police officer, it's my duty to help and improve the abilities of an intern. Can you tell me what methods you use to deal with him? Can you satisfy my admirer's curiosity? Wang Dengming took a sip of coffee, put down his cup, and said, all right, have you heard of acupuncture points? I've heard that the so-called acupoints are all fabricated by you Chinese people. Then there's nothing to say. No, I think you must have used witchcraft, like the ancient Mayans' witchcraft on the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. I have heard of your Chinese Tai Chi and mysterious witchcraft. You are a police officer who can use witchcraft. Can you teach me? The police academy does not have this course. Wang Dengming was speechless and had no choice but to say, okay, it's just witchcraft, a unique skill that you really can't learn. I can learn. I believe in my comprehension. Seeing Jones Meady's great interest, Wang Dengming pondered for a while and said, Jian Jian, do you know what it means? Speaking of this, he stopped and smiled, you don't even know what's going on with the acupoints. It's all for nothing. Otherwise, you can give it a try. Can I give it a try? Of course. Okay, I'll give it a try. Are you sure? Okay. Looking at Joan's serious appearance, Wang Dengming had to stand up and ask her to raise her hands flat and poke under her armpit. In less than 2 minutes, Joan's right hand began to numb, like ants biting. After 3 minutes, her entire right hand, connected to her shoulders, and right chest seemed to be completely numb. Jones Maddie quickly said, I believe it, help me treat it quickly. My hands still need to eat and catch people. Wang Dengming then went to relieve his acupoint. Suddenly, he forgot, but the location of the acupoint was on his right chest. In an awkward moment, he could only say, cough, 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 cough. It wasn't intentional. Please forgive me, it's really not. Immediately after he finished speaking, Jones Maddie felt his arm gradually regaining consciousness. Her eyes stared at Wang Dengming, but she didn't speak, just stared. This is what you voluntarily applied for. Jones Maddie's face blushed slightly, but her tone was so firm that she said, I want to learn this magical enemy tactic from you. Wang Dengming snorted and said, Jones Maddie, I deeply admire your enterprising spirit. You cannot master this skill. I don't believe it. By the way, when you were treating Tu Gordonbu just now, you patted his back. Why don't I need it? That varies from person to person. You are far from as strong as Tu Gordonbu, so you have to work faster than him. Moreover, there are also differences in the severity of acupoints, and it also depends on the length of time after being acupointed. Tu Gordonbu was delayed for 2 or 3 hours just now, and you only had a few minutes, so the method and time of unlocking are much simpler. Very interesting. No, I have to learn. Let's talk about it in the future. There's something you need to deal with. The couple of Sadlin and his wife at 18, Lincoln Street had an argument. A few days ago, his wife called the police and said that Sadlin had beaten her. You can go check the situation and see if they reconcile, but don't let anyone die. Sheriff. Listen, Officer Jones Maddie, this is your first job in town, don't mess it up. Yes. Jones Maddie left very unwillingly, and Wang Dengming sat on the office chair, looking at his right index finger. With half a sound, he burst out laughing, wondering if this was the legendary golden finger. In less than half an hour, Jones Maddie returned. Why did you come back? There's no need to mediate, those two forehands are holding hands and strolling around the supermarket. Did you reconcile so quickly? Yes, I saw it with my own eyes, I saw it right. Mission completed, Sheriff. Can you teach me that magical move? Wang Dengming frowned, and Jones Maddie extended her hand, which she had been carrying all along. A can of coffee was in her hand. What? Coffee, for you, Nestle coffee. You are bribing me. Not exceeding $25 does not constitute suspicion of bribery. Okay, I'll accept it, but you really can't master my ultimate move. Your words carry obvious biases. When I was at the police academy, I was among the top in terms of arrest, criminal investigation, tracking, psychology, and so on. The mayor had even met me, and as long as I wanted to learn, there was nothing I couldn't do. I understand what you mean now. There is no no in my life, that's my motto. Sheriff, what is your motto? Wang Dengming thought for a while and said seriously, all right, dear Miss Jones Maddie, my motto is, I have never taken a woman as an apprentice, understand? Apprentice. You can understand it as a student understood. I have another saying, stop talking, I'll make coffee for you. I see you like drinking coffee. No, you're wrong. Actually, I don't like drinking coffee because I've finished my tea and can't buy good tea in town, so I made do with it. Oh, I see. The coffee I made is very good. You can give it a try. Maybe you'll forget your tea, Mr. Sheriff. Yeah, I'll give it a try. To curry favor with Wang Dengming, Jones Maddie added an extra piece of sugar to the coffee after it was cooked. Then, thinking about it, she added 2 more pieces. Come and taste my coffee, you must be satisfied. Wang Dengming took the coffee and took a gentle sip with his mouth. He then spat it out and said, thank you. I never add sugar to my coffee. You can drink it yourself. Jones Maddie opened her mouth. Come on, forget about your God first. God doesn't have time to talk to you. There are many documents here, you can organize them, categorize them, put them in order, and indicate the order. He opened the filing cabinet from one side of the office, which was 2 heads taller than a person. Here, the documents were like a mountain, in a mess. It was obvious that the old police chief Barack, who had already been taken out, was a lazy person, but Wang Dengming was not a diligent person either. Coincidentally, a female police officer arrived. By fate, it was her. Jones Maddie's little mouth opened wider. Very good, your expression has already told me that you are willing to help me tidy up these garbage. Thank you. Jones Smeedy finally regained consciousness and said, I'm not your assistant, let alone your secretary. I'm a police officer. I only arrest thieves. Thief, you can't catch it all. Don't worry, you're my subordinate. Now I'm giving you an order. Understand? Organize these documents, by the way, if you're diligent, just clean up the office. See you later. After he finished speaking, he put on his police hat, sunglasses, and swaggered away. The police car rushed out of the fence of the police station and flew away. Jones Meady, in a fit of anger, picked up a large stack of documents and slammed them onto the ground. With a few steps, she picked up her coffee and took a fierce sip, making her jump from the heat. Wang Dengming left the police station and drove his police car all the way to the gas station. He filled up the gas and headed towards the Flaherty River, where there was a farm. The farmer reported to the police that another cow from his farm had been taken away, and he needed to follow up. Just left the gas station, the speed has just accelerated, it looks like 60 or 70 kilometers per hour. A black Dodge car passed by on the left, and a half-open window suddenly extended a half-shiny barrel. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. Mayor, you are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Mayor Wang Dengming pulled his right hand like lightning, causing the seat to fall backwards. He leaned back with the seat and twisted the left steering wheel, trying to align the rear of the Dodge car as much as possible. Almost simultaneously, the gun rang, it was the sound of an automatic rifle. Bang bang bang, the glass was scattered like paper, and bullets hit the car fiercely, causing the entire police car to shake. Bang! The police car collided with a big tree, and coincidentally, the driver's seat door was opened. He quickly released his seatbelt, landed first, followed the trend, rolled on the spot, got off the car, and hid behind the front of the car. The pistol has been raised. Damn it, dare to hit me, I'll blow you up. Bang bang bang, the opponent's bullets became denser, 3 barrels came out together, not only automatic rifles, but also 2 submachine guns. Regardless of the accuracy of the attack, Wang Dengming shot wildly while fleeing recklessly. However, Wang Dengming was overwhelmed by the enemy's firepower and couldn't even lift his head. When he stood up, the Dodge car had already gone far and ran along Highway 7. He didn't even see the license plate number clearly and wanted to chase after it. The police car crashed into a tree, and the hood flipped over, unable to start. Wealthy. What a damn coward. Wang Dengming could only angrily point his middle finger at the distant Dodge car. 5 minutes later, he stopped a private car and chased after it angrily, leaving no trace of a Dodge car. The town is located in a remote area and calls for police. For those closest, they can only call themselves. For those far away, they are afraid that once they arrive, the gunman will escape from the United States. Who dares to do this? The first thing that Wang Dengming thought of was Gordon Boo. He had thought that this kid's soul had been tortured almost, but he didn't expect that he would dare to take human life. I'll kill you. He immediately went to find Gordon. Gordon is not in his clubhouse, and his younger brother said, "Sheriff, he is hospitalized." He's hospitalized, it's strange. How could he possibly be hospitalized? The young man honestly said, yes, he was scared by the sheriff and hospitalized. Dr. Monik said that the boss's nerve endings have been severely stimulated and need to be kept in the hospital for observation. His mother bullshit. Without saying a word, he let one of his younger brothers lead the way to Dr. Monik's private clinic in town. Sure enough, this thing was lying in the ward sleeping like a pig. You damn it. He cursed in Chinese, grabbed Tu Gordon Bu, and shouted, "Stupid, do you still want to kill me?" Tu Gordon Bu panicked at the sight of Wang Dengming, and as he watched him explode, he became even more anxious. "Sheriff, I'll kill you." "Why should I kill you?" "Why? I can't find a motive to kill you." Wang Dengming was about to say if you sent someone to kill me, but on second thought, it was wrong. I was a bit impulsive just now, not such a stupid person. Tu Gordon Bu is not a fool, and he wouldn't think that the police chief would have dealt with you for a short time. You would have sent someone to retaliate immediately. He's not such a person. If he had sent someone, this kid wouldn't have been lying here so calmly. Even if he acted, Wang Dengming couldn't see any signs of fraud in his eyes. His hand gradually loosened. Tu Gordon Bu finally regained his breath and cautiously asked, "Sheriff, what's going on? Who wants to kill you? Who dares to kill you in your territory? It's none of your business." He patted Tu Gordon Bu's cheek and walked away as if nothing had happened, leaving Tu Gordon Bu alone in a daze on the hospital bed. "I almost got killed by someone, I didn't even see the license plate clearly. This is really frustrating." He thought for a long time, but he didn't report the matter. He didn't expect the group of masters above to be too proactive, he had to investigate on his own. Alas, Gu Meng, for some unknown reason, set an unwritten rule that major and important cases that occur in the town, such as murder, shooting, cases involving human life, or other major cases, should be handled by the county police station's criminal investigation team. The reason is that the town police station's solving rate is too low. When it came to Barack's time, this rule was perfectly applied by him. Wang Dengming couldn't stand it. Shouldn't the police in the town solve big cases? Barack's statement is that the town simply does not have the conditions to solve a major case, such as no forensic science, no technical department, no information department, and no basic conditions to support solving a major case. Therefore, your autopsy report, fingerprint comparison, DNA test, and so on all need to go to the county police station for cooperation. Since that's the case, why not ask the county police station's criminal investigation team to solve the case? They are doing this. He also said that when there is no equipment or manpower, work will lose its state, and there are only 3 police officers in the town. They are originally security officers, not criminal police teams, not serious case teams, special case teams, and 3 people. What can they do? Just do a good job of security. So, catching speeding drivers, catching troublemakers, raiding A's in the hotel, coordinating street fights, catching thieves in the supermarket, and preventing minors from entering bars and so on, all these miscellaneous things happen to the town police all day long. Wang Dengming believes that the objective conditions that Barack said exist, and the number of people is small, which is true, but this is not the reason. Wang Dengming has quarreled with Barack several times about this matter, but he has no choice. Barack is the sheriff, sir, and he has the final say. You are a policeman, and you can only obey orders. Wang Dengming was not convinced and quietly did it, causing a heated argument with Barack. Now, Wang Dengming has the final say. He needs to change. No longer need to hide, he starts from himself. But he also found it funny. After taking office, the first shooting incident was that he was suddenly assaulted by someone, which was not the good omen he had imagined. The case needed to be investigated, and the evil energy needed to be eliminated. He thought it was necessary to make a statue of Guan Gongye to suppress the evil. Frederick said he was the nemesis of some evil, but that was all nonsense. The shooting 2 hours ago, if he hadn't avoided it quickly and reacted quickly, I was afraid that Sheriff Wang would have holes everywhere. He made a quick decision and immediately called his friends in China. "It's urgent. Hurry up." Brother said, "No problem, just send it to you by Guan urge." When Wang Dengming returned to the police station with a disheveled face, Joan Smeedy was honestly packing up the documents. "Can I have a cup of coffee, thank you?" "Sheriff, what's wrong with your face?" "My face is fine." "What's wrong with your hand? How come it's wrapped up like this?" His face was scratched by a bullet, and his right hand was stabbed by glass while he was lying on the ground while rolling off the car. At that time, his hands were covered in blood. "It's okay, someone attacked me." "Someone attacked, who?" "I don't know, I ran away." "Did you run? How did you run? Why are you asking so many questions? Pour me a cup of coffee." Okay, Sheriff, right away, yes, no sugar, no sugar." After drinking half a cup of coffee, Wang Dengming's anger basically calmed down. He explained the process to Jones Meddy, and Jones Meddy also said that it shouldn't have been Tugerdenbu who did it. It's unlikely that he did it this way, which is too obvious. Jones Meddy's analysis is that Wang Dengming has also arrested quite a few people, and the number of people he has sent to prison is also quite considerable. It is normal for them to seek revenge. Jones Meddy's words may make sense, but Wang Dengming thought of a drug trafficking case he solved 2 years ago, perhaps related to this. The gunfight 2 years ago was Wang Dengming's most enjoyable one. He killed 2, caught 1, and was given a big certificate and a prize money. It wasn't much money, and at that time, he was really proud. However, now he remembered the words of the old police officer Cardinali. "If you want to live longer, be clever and not meddle in everything." Especially when he went to catch the drug traffickers, Cardinali tried his best to stop him, saying, "Just ask the people above to come and catch people." Wang Dengming didn't listen and went with a gun. After the incident, Cardinal said, "Wang, you are too young and too strong. Wait for someone to come and settle the accounts with you sooner or later." Cardinal's words seem to have been fulfilled. Barack caught a car thief and got his head blown off. If you compete with a drug dealer, you will eventually seek revenge, especially in such a remote town. These days, Wang Dengming's right palm has been injured. Although it's all skin injuries, it's not very convenient. Jones and Meady are very willing to take care of his daily life and are extremely diligent. He was injured, and several American aunties stopped by to visit him. Wang Dengming helped them a lot in their daily lives. And the most sincere person is none other than Tugerdenbu. Wang Dengming never dreamed that Tugerdenbu would come to see him, thinking he was dizzy. This guy is sneaky, smiling with sincerity on his face. He even bought some fruits for the first time and said things like "Please accept and take care of them." Wang Dengming wanted to laugh. He estimated that this guy learned how to express grammar when visiting friends in the Rabbit Kingdom. "I'm puzzled, it's for sure. Tugerdenbu, this bastard, has made a mistake and came to see him. John Smeedy said he has surrendered." Wang Dengming didn't believe it and said, "No, that guy is full of bad water. We need to be more vigilant. This turtle grandson must be holding back some big damage." The next and last person to visit Tugerdenbu is the mayor. As soon as he saw the mayor, Wang Dengming's head immediately grew bigger. "Wang, I have to say that during this period, the town has not been peaceful, very peaceful." As soon as the mayor came in and saw the coffee on the table, whoever it was, he picked it up and drank it. The mayor's name is Winaxon, a tall old man with a bad temper. He used to play rugby and was a key player in the team. When he was young, he was a top handsome guy, and he always told people that. Now, he is old, his body has gained weight, he is bald, and even his proud huge nose has wrinkles like a small ditch. His condition is not good, he is so fat that he looks like a sumo wrestler, and even after walking a short distance, he is panting and sweating all over. His body, weighing 390 pounds, came in and sat in Wang Dengming's position as sheriff. The sturdy chair suddenly made a terrifying creaking sound. This is the position of this sheriff. Wang Dengming smiled but remained silent, looking at his chair, which was made of steel frame and covered in genuine leather. The mayor realized something and smiled. Ah yes, yes, you are now the sheriff, the sheriff. He wanted to stand up, but there was too much, shaking, and falling fat, like a pile of absorbent sponge. It looked like he was stuck on the two arms of the chair and couldn't get up. No, 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 Mr. Mayor, please sit down. Thank you, Wang. You're such a smart young man, very smart. I can tell. Is your injury okay? Wang Dengming waved his fist. Great, now that you're the sheriff's responsibility is even greater. Really, what's going on? There have been multiple incidents, and Barack just had an incident. You were shot again. How's the case going? Is there any progress? Who fired at you? Wang Dengming shook his head and said, not yet. Have you reported to the county police station? Reporting is useless, I'm still alive and bouncing around. They're not in a hurry, and besides, you know the handling style of the county criminal police team very well. You're right, that's a group of procrastinating foodies. Mayor, only you dare to say a fair word. Those people are too procrastinating. I am also a police officer, and I will investigate on my own. Besides, incidents of police being attacked often occur, and that's how Barack was attacked. Don't mention Barack, don't mention him. Damn it, he's not a good sheriff, he doesn't care about anything. You can't be like him, he's just a fool, a cowardly big fool. I support your decision, you absolutely can't. He began to gasp for breath, and as soon as he did, Wang Dengming would panic, panting like tuberculosis. He hurriedly said, Mr. Mayor, I know what you're trying to say this time. We've really done our best. That thief was too cunning. When he stole something from your villa, he didn't leave any trace. We can only wait for him to commit the crime again before we can catch him. Mayor, he is a master. You know, it's very difficult to run around and commit crimes. There won't be such a thief in our town, so Mayor, this matter. I'll talk to you about this matter, Wang Dengming interrupted rudely. However, this matter was handled by Sheriff Barack, don't say it, but. He is dead, but you also participated in this case. Jonathan's pupils began to retract, which was a precursor to his outburst. All right, Mr. Mayor, don't be angry, don't be angry. All right, I'll officially take over. You need to give me a month, how about that? 10 days, one more day, I won't give it, I won't give it. This is the last time, I won't make any further concessions, I won't. Jonathan clenched his fists, his beautiful white mustache curled up high on his lips. Okay, 10 days, just 10 days. Mayor, do you have anything else to do? Jonathan snorted heavily in his nose and said, King, I believe in your abilities. Your behavior in the town is well known, and if it weren't for you, we wouldn't know how much would happen in the town. I hope you would take this matter seriously and not be like Barack, that ghost. In the midst of Jonathan's rambling, Wang Dengming forcefully pulled him out of his chair, spoke well, and sent him away. As soon as the mayor left, John Smeedy joked, Sheriff, it seems like you're afraid of this stinky old man. You shouldn't be. Wang Dengming picked up his coffee and immediately put it down, saying, You don't understand. If you get angry with him and he twitches, you have to use a crane to take him to the hospital. That's a big project. Oh, my God. Please don't say, God is good, okay? Our police force is limited and we can't waste it on some irrelevant things, understand? I will lose my way without saying, God. Wang Dengming could only shake his head. Sheriff, what was stolen from his villa? As soon as he mentioned this, Wang Dengming said, what else was lost? The mayor didn't say it clearly, but said he had lost a famous painting. What kind of painting did the Dutch painter Van Gogh have? Van Gogh, I know his paintings are quite valuable, so he's going crazy with anxiety. Did the thief really leave no valuable clues? No, if there were any, we had already caught him. We surveyed everything on site and almost flipped over the land. That thief must have come prepared and stepped on it in advance. He must be a professional thief. I heard that the mayor is even planning to hire private detectives to intervene. Really, it's true, I'm getting dementia in old age and I didn't even catch anyone. It's useless for him to invite anyone. Sheriff, it seems like you're bragging. Wang Dengming said seriously, did I brag? End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Experienced and Novice. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Experienced and Novice. Jones Moody's deep blue eyes looked at Wang Dengming with great interest and said, okay, I believe you are indeed a Sherlock Holmes-like detective. What exactly are you trying to say? Joan Meady smiled honestly and said, okay, Sheriff, I admit you're a Chinese girl canon, a very handsome girl canon. A handsome mother.in.law. Where am I like a mother.in.law? Because you always pretend to be mysterious, overly pretentious, like a woman standing on the street. A woman standing on the street. Yes, the woman standing on the street in the dim light. Wang Dengming chuckled and chattered. You see, this is a typical case of Niangpo. Can you teach me your magical acupoint tapping or something? As long as you teach me, I'll go find you some good tea. Wang Dengming was so amused by her that he couldn't help but cry. He extended 2 fingers, the index and middle fingers of his right hand, and placed them in front of her nose. What is this? I am not blind, my eyesight is very good. Okay, look at it. Wang Dengming pulled off the bandage on his palm, propped his fingers on the ground, and exerted all his strength to lean against the wall, standing upright and upside down. His fingers were also straight and without any curvature. Jones Meady lay on the ground like a child, looking up from bottom to top, looking all the way from her fingers to Wang Dengming's head, and exclaiming loudly, oh my God, magic. Wang Dengming was so amused by her that he got off the wall and said, if you can hold on for 10 seconds like me, I'll teach you. Okay, I will definitely do it. Okay, as long as you can do it, I will definitely teach you. After he finished speaking, he was ready to go and see how his police car was. There were 3 cars in the police station, 1 bulletproof car for escorting prisoners, and 1 extremely old Toyota car. The best police car was the Ford he drove, but it was broken and being repaired in a repair shop. The city police station did not provide him with a new car, so he had to make do with it. Just as he was leaving, he suddenly heard a scream coming from the office. He hurriedly ran in and saw Jones Meady sitting on the ground, pinching his right index finger, pitifully, as if tears were about to flow. What happened? Finger, bone, broken. How could it be broken? As soon as Wang Dengming mentioned this, he immediately remembered what had happened earlier. This foreign girl must have learned from him to stand upside down with 2 fingers. Bad dish, this newcomer is indeed a top-notch rookie. He took Jones Meady to the hospital and upon examination, it was not a fracture, but a joint dislocation. Just keep it going, this silly girl sometimes gets stubborn and can't be pulled back. Unfortunately, with such a beautiful figure and face, she is top-notch. Why is her brain lacking in talent? It's okay, something is also a good thing. Any newcomer, under the painstaking 1.1 training of this sheriff, will inevitably turn into a miracle. Wang Dengming has such super confidence and courage. After leaving the hospital, the 2 of them went to the repair shop. He didn't want to drive that outdated Toyota car. The owner of the repair shop told him that the police car had been hit too severely and would take at least a week to fix. Wang Dengming had no choice but to wait. Jones Meady thought her finger was broken, but it wasn't a big deal and she didn't stop. She clamored to go to the mayor's villa and dig up clues about the thief. Wang Dengming didn't have that spare time. If the mayor comes to him again next time, there might be another deadline of 10.5 days. He first needs to dig out those people who want to kill him. At 11 o'clock in the morning, they returned to the police station from the hospital. Wang Dengming wanted to find some clues from those files, but the person who attacked him was not caught. He could only look at past files to see if he could find something useful. He caught quite a few people, especially in the drug trafficking case 2 years ago, where he even killed a few drug traffickers. Wang Dengming's buttocks hadn't heated up yet when his phone rang. It was Sheriff Piero from the county police station, speaking quickly. He said that there was a suspicious vehicle with the number XXXXXXXX, a white box-type small container truck. There were at least 3 people on board, possibly heading towards their town. Piero said that the people in the car were extremely dangerous, robbing and killing people. If they were found to be following, we would follow and we would arrive later. Murderer. After hearing this, Jones Meddy was not only not afraid but also extremely excited. This was her first time performing a practical task, which used to be simulation, but now it's different. Let's take it seriously. She hurriedly put on her bulletproof vest, checked her weapons, and looked like she was grinding a knife. John Smeedy, you look very excited. Sheriff, can I do this? Wang Dengming looked up and down and smiled, armed to the teeth, we're just one bulletproof helmet away. Thank you. Unexpectedly, Wang Dengming's face suddenly tightened and he said, listen up, Jones Meddy. Our task is to find suspicious vehicles and follow them. Don't act recklessly. Jones Meddy was still excited and said, yes. Is the person in the car a robber or murderer? Do you really wish that there were robbers and murderers above? I hope that I can exercise my marksmanship, which is important in practical combat, as mentioned in textbooks. Wang Dengming stared at her right index finger, wrapped in a bandage. Of course, Jones Smeedy knew what he meant and said, I hold a gun in both hands and can shoot with the fingers of my left hand. Jones Meddy. Arrive. Wang Dengming coldly and fiercely called out his name, and Jones Meddy was so scared that she instinctively read a word, and her body was also in a standing position. He circled around Jones Meddy and said, didn't the police academy tell you that as police officers, our first priority is to protect ourselves? Didn't your instructor teach you? Jones Meddy's heart was still pounding, and just now Wang Dengming let out a furious shout with a strong aura, which made her really nervous. I taught. Since you've taught me, I have to do it well. Look at you, the most important finger is injured. How can you shoot? Listen, everything is up to me. I'll go borrow a car. Borrowing a car. Wang Dengming remained silent and looked at her. Jones Meddy blinked her eyes and immediately smiled, we're following that car. How could we use a police car for tracking? Understood. Where can we borrow it? Just follow along. As the police car passed by the entrance of McDonald's, John Smeedy said, Sheriff, go borrow the car, I'll wait for you at McDonald's. What are you doing at McDonald's? Are you hungry? No, we're going to keep an eye on it. We don't know how long we'll have to keep an eye on it. We should make sufficient preparations. I'll go buy 2 chicken leg combos. Wang Dengming smiled and said, okay, it's very thoughtful. 8 minutes later, Wang Dengming drove a brand new Cadillac to McDonald's, and Jones Meddy was waiting for him, holding a big bag of food. Whose car is it? Jones Meddy asked as soon as she got into the car. The mayor lent it to me. The mayor is really a good person. What a fart. This old man has shortened the time for solving the case by 3 days and said, I owe him a favor. You're a police officer, you can't keep using vulgar language, said Jones Meddy. I said, which of us is a superior or a subordinate? You are the sheriff. Then shut up. At 11:30, on Highway 7, Wang Dengming parked his car by a grove of trees, with one hand nibbling on a hamburger and the other holding a telescope, staring at the car coming from the county. Do you think they will come towards us? You've asked this question 6 times already. Can't even the chicken legs stop your mouth? When Wang Dengming spoke, his eyes kept staring at the road. I'll treat you to McDonald's, as an equivalent exchange, you must allow me to speak. Wang Dengming finally turned his face away and looked at the co-pilot, Jones Moody. Jones Moody noticed that Wang Dengming's expression was particularly interesting, and he wanted to say 1,000 words, but he didn't say anything. Sheriff, whatever you want to say, just say it. I'm worried about your health. Wang Dengming is looking for a suitable word. Jones Moody pointed her finger outward and said, look. The white van. Wang Dengming quickly turned his head and picked up the telescope. He saw a white container truck roaring, brushing past him, and the car number was clearly visible through the telescope. He threw the unfinished chicken legs out of the window, wiped his mouth, and said, let's start. Cadillac's engine let out a roar and chased after it. Piero, I see it, it's following. Just follow, don't lose sight. There will be reinforcements in the next town, so don't take action without authorization. Received. Wang Dengming put down his phone, kept a certain distance, and followed from a distance. Jones Moody couldn't help but ask again, Sheriff, are we just bored following like this? Of course. It's so boring. Wang Dengming wanted to say something, but didn't say anything. He picked up the cola and took a few deep breaths, snoring hard. At 11:55, suddenly, the container truck turned around, got off the main road, and drove onto a regular asphalt road. The road was brightly lit and led to a winding mountain road in the mountainous area, which was not easy to walk, unlike what Piero had said. Jones Moody asked, are you still with me? Of course. Cadillac immediately drove up the fork in the road. There are very few cars on this road, will they find us? There's nothing we can do if we find out. Try not to let them notice and stay away from us. They followed for about 40 kilometers, and the road ahead began to become more complex, sometimes with cliffs, and sometimes with a gloomy primitive forest. After passing a large winding mountain road, the container truck stopped at the roadside and stopped moving. Jones Moody's 2 hands held pistols and nervously asked, what do they mean, they're not leaving? Don't be nervous, just shoot if the situation is not right. Cadillac did not stop, still maintaining its original speed and leaning towards the container truck. Wang Dengming held the steering wheel in one hand and a pistol in the other. At the moment of passing by the container truck, Wang Dengming found that there was no one inside the driver's compartment. He parked about 100 meters in front of the container truck. The truck was parked, and he grabbed his gun. With the cover of a big tree on the roadside, he carefully approached the truck. Indeed, there was no one inside the driver's cabin or under the car. The carriage of the container truck was locked by a huge lock. When we arrived here, the signal on our phone was not very good, weak, and there was no one at all. It was impossible to hear what the other person was saying during the call. Jones Moody also came to Wang Dengming's side. Where are people? They have entered the forest. What should we do? Follow the trail, look, this is the grass they stepped on, the broken shrub branches. Halfway through Wang Dengming's words, without further ado, Jones Moody was examining the surrounding environment. Here, giant trees were everywhere, with tangled roots, withered leaves and rotten branches, and a thick layer. The branches and leaves above cover the sky and the ground, and the scorching and powerful sunlight quietly escapes here, leaving only a gloomy darkness and an unsettling aura. You, wait here, I'll go see what's going on. Shoot. Wang Dengming changed his mind. No, let's chase together. Although Joan's words were decisive, Wang Dengming could hear that there was something else in her voice. Wang Dengming paused for a moment and said, all right, follow me closely. End of this chapter. Chapter 8. Waste. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8 Waste Wang Dengming is exploring the way ahead, and Jones Meady is closely following. Departing from the road, as soon as we entered the primitive forest, the light became even darker. The unique smell of decay in the jungle, the fresh smell of grass, and the greasy smell of trees mixed together, making us feel at a loss. The two walked up and down for 1 kilometer, sticking to the cliff. Under their feet was a turbulent river, and on their right was a semi-forest and semi-rocky terrain. This is a very dangerous terrain, and the people in front are robbers and murderers. Wang Dengming can be certain that they have guns in their hands. He followed cautiously forward, as if it had rained recently, and the ground footprints were very clear. They were right in front. Wang Dengming was also excited, and his goal was not lost. He took out his phone, but the signal was even weaker here and he couldn't reach Piero at all. Jones Meady asked, "Sheriff, should we continue, or should we?" Suddenly, with a loud bang. "Get down." Wang Dengming pressed Jones Meady to the ground and hid behind a large pine and cypress tree. Following closely, dense sounds rang out, including a double-barreled hunting rifle and 2 semi-automatic rifles. The opponent should have 3 of them, hiding behind a huge gray rock and firing at them. Wang Dengming regretted bringing Jones and Meady with him. Since he came to this town, this is the second time in a few years that he has experienced such a fierce gunfight. They were pressed down by the other party and couldn't lift their heads. Bullets hit the ground, tree trunks, and grass, making a creaking sound. "Sheriff, Sheriff, will we be killed?" Jones Meady panicked. "Calm down." Wang Dengming's deep and powerful voice calmed Jones Meady down quite a bit. "Damn it, come on." Wang Dengming is not worried about being surrounded by the other party. There is a cliff on the left, a river below the cliff, and a forest on the right. He just needs to focus on the front and right sides. The disadvantage is that the terrain they are in is a large slope, about 40 degrees, and with a thick layer of damp moss on the ground, it is easy to fall into the river. However, he still miscalculated, and Jones Meady suddenly said, "Sheriff, there's some movement behind us." At the moment when Wang Dengming turned around, a strong man was squatting on the ground with a double-barreled shotgun, aiming at him. Pop! Wang Dengming fired first and hit the person on the forehead, only to see the guy's head tilted and lying on the ground unable to move anymore. "Damn it, you still know how to use a front and back pincer attack." It is obvious that this group of people is divided into 2 groups. One group is preparing to shoot black guns in the front, and the other group is taking the back. Judging from their posture, they are planning to kill Wang Dengming and Jones Meady. A bullet hit and almost hit Wang Dengming. There were not only 3 attackers who took the back path, but also 3 of them. The attackers were holding an automatic rifle and shooting at Wang Dengming. It was obvious that his accomplice's death made him quite angry, and he even shouted loudly. "Lachlan is dead, Lachlan is dead, surround, surround, surrounding," that's shouting at the accomplice behind the big rock in front. So, the bullets of these people became even denser, shouting and coming from front to back. Wang Dengming and Jones Meady only had 2 Glock pistols with 19 magazines. Jones Meady was pinned to the ground by Wang Dengming's hand and muttered, "Sheriff, their guns are too powerful. What should we do?" "You block the back, don't probe, shoot. Just delay, give me some time." "Okay, Sheriff." Jones Meady lay on the ground, holding her pistol tightly in both hands, regardless of the shooting posture or accuracy. She only fired indiscriminately, without daring to look up. Bullets flew around her head, and one of them knocked her police cap off. Wang Dengming was worried that such an intense gunfight would cause Jones Meady to break down psychologically, but now it looks okay. He is relieved a lot. Jones Meady's performance has already satisfied him very much. As for her boasting about how accurate her marksmanship is, that is the future. As long as Jones Meady can hold back the people behind him, he has confidence to get out of danger. In front of Wang Dengming, a gunman was jumping forward to find cover when Wang Dengming shot and hit the person in the stomach. For a moment, the sound of ghosts crying and wolves howling came. Wang Dengming thought that he should calm down by killing and injuring each other's people, but he didn't expect them to be even more angry. Their anger was not impulsive anger, but experienced alternating cover as they moved forward. Wang Dengming thought to himself that something was not going well. These people must have been soldiers or had played with guns before, old oilseed. Their accuracy was also very accurate. Wang Dengming was not hit, but his evasive actions were just faster than theirs. The other party may not have expected these two police officers to be so sharp and not shouting anymore. A thug from behind threw something at Wang Dengming and the others. With a snap, a smoking iron lump fell beside the two of them, about 2 meters away from Wang Dengming. Nima. Wang Dengming reached out with his left hand and hugged Jonesmedi, causing them to tumble and fall off the cliff. Just as the two of them fell off the cliff, the iron lump exploded. It was a grenade. From the cliff to the river, the lower part was empty, almost 40 meters away, and the rolling river made a low flowing sound. This river is very deep, which is also what Wang Dengming hopes for. It is too shallow, and it is enough for them not to fall to death. However, the river was a bit too deep. As soon as the two of them fell, the huge impact force made them sink like weights, and their hands also parted. Wang Dengming touched it for a while and grabbed Jonesmedi's shoulder. He clearly felt that Jonesmedi was struggling to sink recklessly. In fact, when she fell from such a high height, Jonesmedi almost fainted when she hit the water, and her situation became even worse after entering the water. In the darkness, Jonesmedi felt the big hand and immediately fell silent. Then, with the strong hand dragging her, she vigorously rowed out of the water. The water in this river is not as turbulent as usual. After the two of them emerged from the water, they were washed out for a long distance. Only on a relatively flat surface did they land. After gasping for breath for a while, Wang Dengming asked, "Where's your gun?" It fell into the water, and just as we fell, I didn't hold it steady." Wang Dengming's gun also fell into the water. In a hurry to save Jonesmedi, the gun fell off his hand, but at least Jonesmedi was fine and they were not injured when the grenade exploded. "Sheriff, are you still pursuing me?" Wang Dengming gave a bitter smile and said, "What's the use of chasing? We need reinforcements, let's go." Although it is June now, it has not yet entered the peak of summer, and the average annual temperature in Montana is not high. Soaking in the unusually cold river water, Jonesmedi is shivering with cold. Wang Dengming is much brighter, but it is also quite strong. The two of them walked back along the riverbank, and by the time they returned to the road and arrived at Cadillac, it had already taken over 2 hours. There are 5 police cars behind Cadillac, 4 of which are not ordinary standard painted police cars, black, very mysterious. They are FBI cars, although they are also police cars, which are much higher than Wang Dengming's police cars. There are a large group of police officers and people wearing plain clothes around the police cars. Piero, a short, chubby police officer, breathed a sigh of relief when he saw that they were fine. A person wearing black plainclothes approached Wang Dengming and directly asked, "Where are people?" "Lost it, are you?" This plainclothes has sharp eyes, like the eyes of an eagle, shrinking inward and shining with a cold light. "Lost it. Where are your guns?" Wang Dengming said truthfully, "We fell into the river with them." Wearing black gloves in plain clothes, he interrupted Wang Dengming's words. First, he pointed to Wang Dengming, then to Jones and Medi, cursing. "Useless, 2 useless people. How can we talk? We exchanged fire with them. Do you know his mother? Who asked you to engage in fire with them? Your task is to track, do you understand? You don't call for reinforcements, engage in fire with the other party without authorization. If you die, there will be no compensation. Tracking your sister. Damn it, don't I know what tracking is?" Wang Dengming has been in Alaska Mengjian for a long time and has almost forgotten the habit of calling for reinforcements. The calls are also in vain, and the county police did not arrive so quickly. Especially after he became the sheriff, if he calls for reinforcements, he can only call himself, and even call fart. He prefers to lean towards solo combat, although it is a dangerous form of suicide and foolishness in alerting the police. However, the reality of the Alaska Mengjian police station being unable to call for reinforcements in a timely manner due to its remote location has unconsciously created a dangerous and aggressive trend of fighting alone like Wang Dengming. Over time, he developed a habit of not being able to call for reinforcements. When faced with a tricky police situation, his first reaction sequence became problematic. Try to figure it out on his own first, and then call for reinforcements if he can't handle it. The order was reversed, but Wang Dengming himself was not aware of the problem. The same situation happened today. Due to habit, he rarely had the idea of calling for reinforcements in his mind, unless there was a special police situation, such as the other party attacking the police station. Of course, he is not the kind of police officer who has no brain. His purpose today is just to track and understand the situation before deciding whether to wait for the follow-up police to catch up before taking action. He has no intention of directly taking action. Moreover, there is also an intern police officer beside him, who is still a woman, and he needs to ensure her safety. But he far underestimated the anti-tracking ability and strength of the person he was following. The opponent suddenly fired, with fierce firepower, causing Wang Dengming to panic. The black-clothed man's gaze is even sharper. Piero knew about Wang Dengming's temper, which was the pace of a fight. He quickly stepped forward, pulled Wang Dengming aside, and whispered, "Wang, don't be on the same page as those people. The FBI is that kind of person, very arrogant. They have been with those people for a long time, cross-state fugitives, it's difficult to deal with, and the FBI can't handle it. It's okay, just stay calm, it's you who will suffer in the fight. Look at how many of them." Wang Dengming was pulled by Pietro, and Jones Medi also stepped forward. "Don't take action, we will suffer." The man in black gave Wang Dengming a contemptuous glance, got into the police car, and flew away. End of this chapter. Chapter 9. Bawang Flower. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Bawang Flower. A police officer lost his gun, and his reputation and responsibility were damaged. The municipal police department asked Wang Dengming to write a detailed report and submit it. Before submitting the report, Wang Dengming quickly hired 2 professional divers out of his own pocket and grabbed the pistol. Of course, the cost was also high, he said with great concern. If the gun is retrieved, the city police station may not be able to punish it much. This matter is considered a thing of the past. But Wang Dengming felt that things were not over yet. Since sitting in this position as the police chief, everything seems to be going wrong. This is not a smooth pace. Damn it, we need to pay homage to Lord Guan. Unfortunately, his Lord Guan doesn't seem to have arrived yet. After returning from that cold river, Jones Maddie sneezed all day and felt much better today. Early in the morning, she bought breakfast for Wang Dengming, including pancakes, toast, and thin pancakes, and personally fried 2 eggs for him. Wang Dengming jokingly asked, "Is there any conspiracy to treat me so well?" "Sir, relax a bit. We didn't cause any major trouble, there's no need to be so nervous. It's just that the gun fell out, but you found it again." "I'm nervous, you said I'm nervous." "Excuse me, okay, it's not nervousness, it's anxiety, mild anxiety." Wang Dengming put down the things in his hand and asked with a smile, "Where did you see that I was anxious?" "Your words indicate that you are anxious." "Is that right? If I buy breakfast for some other man, they would say, it's an honor, they would be flattered, you're not, conspiracy theory." Wang Dengming clasped his nose with one finger and said, "You hit me right. My 7th sensation is very sensitive, and I really don't feel very good." Thank you for telling me these things. Without the conspiracy you mentioned, I just want to express my gratitude. Thank you for what? Thank you for pulling me up in the water, you know what? I almost drowned, and you helped me withstand lightning. Thank you. I'm your superior, you're welcome. Thank you for the fried egg. It's great, thank you. No, eggs don't count. Wang Dengming asked, okay, how do you want to thank me? Jones Maddie leaned forward and said, I'll treat you to a movie. Wang Dengming was momentarily stunned. After a while, he said, Officer Jones Meady, what does it mean for a woman to invite a man to a movie? Sheriff, your words are very straightforward. Are you implying to me? A harmless atmosphere is like dancing a social dance. There's no dance to dance, my sheriff. If there's no dance to dance, don't invite me to watch a movie. By the way, I'm definitely not on your dance partner list, am I? You have exceeded the boundaries of the problem. Okay, I won't continue with this question. So why did you invite me to watch a movie? You have a misunderstanding in your logical thinking. I invited you to watch a movie as a gesture of gratitude. What's amazing about the FBI? We are also police officers, and we can solve big cases. We need to adjust our state of mind. That bastard didn't scold me too. Look, girl, I'm not angry, Wang Dengming asked, do you really think so? What do you want me to think? Wang Dengming hugged his chest with both hands and smiled, what are you thinking? I'll guess later. You definitely can't guess what I'm thinking. Well, you must be thinking, there are exceptions to everything, right? Wang Dengming bit his lips, like a thief caught by someone. Sheriff, do you know what characters I like to watch in your Chinese movies? What role, supporting role? Why do you say that? It's your turn, guess. Jones Meady looked at Wang Dengming with a smile on her face. The sheriff then said, I don't guess, it's a waste of my brain. I agree. Tonight, let's go see a movie. At 8 o'clock in the evening, the small town cinema is imaginable in size, but with first-class facilities. It has 3D and 4D broadcasting rooms, as well as couple-friendly broadcasting rooms. The tickets purchased by Jones Meady are regular tickets with soda and popcorn as gifts. Tonight, neither of them wore police uniforms. Jones Maddie was wearing police uniforms and had a hot figure. Today, she was wearing a fashionable pink dress, so when she entered the cinema, she mesmerized a large number of male breeds. Originally, tonight was a very suitable night to adjust our mood. Unfortunately, just as they sat down, someone called the police and said that someone was fighting outside the cinema. Wang Dengming couldn't help but laugh and cry. He was the only sheriff in the town. When he came in, everyone knew that the sheriff had come in and came directly to the screening hall to find him. Next, needless to say, mediate and stop it. Little did you know that over a trivial matter, the little rascals fighting on both sides were too fierce and injured. The entrance to the cinema was covered in bloodstains. Wang Dengming had no choice but to bring all these people back to the police station and record their confessions one by one. By the time the order was processed, it was already 1 a.m. The next day, like Jones Meady, he happily prepared breakfast for him, which made Wang Dengming feel a bit inappropriate. In the future, I'll have to buy it myself as soon as possible. Sheriff, don't be embarrassed. The police station is just the two of us, and others don't know. Anyway, I want to buy it myself. Buy an extra one, it's easy. Don't worry, I won't let your girlfriend know. Wang Dengming grinned and said, I don't have a dance partner yet. You should find a girlfriend. Wang Dengming interrupted her and said, Jones Meady, we have too few staff here. We should have the city police send another person. Sheriff, the police force at the city police station is indeed very tense. Besides, in our place, no one will come voluntarily. You understand, Sheriff, you haven't told me yet. Why are you here? Wang Dengming was about to answer when the phone rang and someone called the police. "Sheriff, my dog was kicked by a neighbor." "Come on, street number XXXXXX." Wang Dengming would scratch his scalp when he heard such a small matter. There are only a few police officers in the town, with a large number of residents, and chaotic situations can arise at any time, which can drive the police crazy. At first, Wang Dengming didn't understand, but later he became smarter. He dealt with police situations based on two principles. If it's a neighborhood dispute, such as when someone looks down on you and scolds you, you scold back, "Others accuse me of slander, and I accuse you of infringing on my privacy," just like the small friction between neighbors just now. Wang Dengming always adheres to the principle of turning big things into small things. It's too trivial, too nonsense, and vague. If you can pass it, then pass it. Everyone looks down but doesn't look up. There's no need to make it that way. At this point, Wang Dengming became less like a police officer, like a security director, a neighborhood committee lady, a standard Tai Chi master, capable of transforming, pushing, dodging, and deceiving. So, the people in the town say that this foreigner police officer is the most despicable police officer. When he comes out of police, he is always mediocre and lacks any professional level or legal awareness. It's ridiculous. However, Americans do not understand the breadth and depth of our rabbit country's handling of small matters. If Wang Dengming doesn't get along well, it's really not good. If they argue and go to court, as a police officer, Wang Dengming also needs to be a witness. For example, if Wang Dengming gives a fine to a car and the driver goes to court, he needs to provide evidence and testimony to the court. He needs to tell the judge where he broke the law, what the specific content is, whether he was speeding or parking illegally. Wang Dengming needs to prove that things like this are easy to handle. If two people argue, sue each other, and cannot determine who is right or wrong, and the lawsuit escalates, Wang Dengming will suffer. In every lawsuit, you have to go to the court for a jury, or else you will have to repeatedly submit the police report and so on, which is really annoying. Wang Dengming believes that this is purely troublemaking the police. Why can't Americans set up more departments to handle such things? But the problem is, Americans like to take things seriously, and in a word of disagreement, it's "I'll have my lawyer talk to you." Wang Dengming felt very helpless about this. However, in cases of violence, such as forceful collection of protection fees, intimidation, robbery of supermarkets, street riots, armed fights, bullying the weak, etc., we have investigated the police records of the Alaskan town police station for nearly 20 years. If they can call for reinforcements, they will call for reinforcements. If they cannot call for reinforcements, the majority of them are emergency calls. When they are far away, they hide behind police cars and shoot indiscriminately, and later write reports to deceive them. Wang Dengming is different. He definitely takes it seriously, goes up whenever he wants, and doesn't hesitate. Therefore, he is also known as the most serious police officer in the town. Wang Dengming's favorite thing to deal with is this type of case, which makes him look like a police officer. Over time, the residents of the town couldn't understand what kind of police officer this was. "Joan Smeedy, you can go and sort it out. Don't be in such a big battle, just persuade them. They don't need to go to the court. They are all neighbors, so there's nothing big. You're a female police officer, and I think you're suitable for handling this type of police situation. Okay, I'll take care of it." Jones Maddie readily agreed, stuffed a piece of cake into her mouth, and hurried out. Well, he is very proactive in his work and deserves praise. Half an hour later, someone called the police again. "Sheriff, the female police officer from your police station hit someone and sent them to the hospital for rescue." Divine horse. At 2 p.m. in the office, Wang Dengming pinched his chin and stared fixedly at Jones Maddie standing in front of him. He didn't speak for 15 seconds and just stared at Jonesy. He was really angry with this policewoman. "Sheriff, what should we do now? We've all been stabbed to the city police station. How dare you say that? It's not a big deal to stab the city police station. You injured someone, and they will sue you for compensation for medical expenses, mental damages, $200,000 US, $200,000 US. That was self-defense, he attacked me first. He was a bit aggressive, but he didn't take action. It was you who took the initiative. He hit women. Shouldn't I hit those who hit women? What you need to do is find a way to stop it. You can definitely pull out a gun and warn him. If he doesn't listen to the warning, shoot. There's no need to hit someone. You're a policewoman, don't make yourself look like a superhero. Yes, if I stop him, he will attack me. Of course, I have to fight back. Did he attack you? Is there any? I defended myself too well, I didn't mean to. Okay, even if you defend yourself too well, that bastard wants $200,000. Can you give it to him? I don't have that much money, how can I have that much money? End of this chapter. Chapter 10. Selling to pay off debts. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Selling to pay off debts. Joan Smeedy spoke confidently, without money, which was also a kind of pride. Of course, she is also very aggrieved. Isn't it just that she defended herself too well? Why was she falsely accused of 200,000 yuan? Wang Dengming felt a toothache in the root of his teeth. According to the complete procedural procedures of the U.S. Police, Joan Smeedy only needs to follow the instructions in the police manual. There is an important point in the manual that if a police officer believes that their life is at risk, they can shoot directly. It will not be a problem for the police to assess the consequences before the incident. Simply put, when a person rushes towards the police, who knows if they are trying to grab a gun, hit someone, or hug? So, the police can take corresponding measures based on their own judgment, shoot, and they have absolute rights, which is called the complete exercise of police power and immunity. But the incident with Joan Smeedy made Wang Dengming dizzy again. You said that the person who kicked the dog attacked the police. Joan Smeedy could shoot, but at that time, there was no threat weapon on that guy's body or hands. Joan Smeedy said that it was the person who kicked the dog who started with their hand, but according to eyewitnesses, the owner of the dog, she didn't see clearly. It seemed like they were doing it at the same time, and it was also Joan Smeedy who started with his hand. Suddenly, they started doing it. Who actually moved the hand, whether there was surveillance on the scene, the truth, only Jones and the dog-kicking person know. However, things have already happened, and the person who kicked the dog makes sense. I don't have any attacking weapons on me. If you were a police officer hitting someone and hitting them to death, then it would definitely be wrong. Joan Smeedy suffered because of her lack of experience. The other party bit her first, and Joan Smeedy couldn't provide any evidence to say that the dog kick was lying. So what awaits Joan Smeedy is the subpoena given to her by the other party's lawyer. However, there was one thing that surprised Wang Dengming. The dog kicker he was facing against Joan Smeedy, named Tom Dunk, was tall and not much different from Tugerden Bu. He was knocked unconscious by Joan Smeedy and only woke up after receiving treatment in the hospital. Wang Dengming later found out that she had hit him very hard, punching him in the temple and kicking him in the crotch. It's normal for newcomers to make mistakes. Some newcomers take a long time to become qualified police officers, and Joan Smeedy's qualification time may not be short. Sheriff, I also hire a lawyer to sue him for assaulting a police officer. Wang Dengming shook his head and said, You sue him, you've already beaten him to the hospital. Who attacked who? Tell me honestly, who started the attack? I just pushed him away and gave him a push. Give it a push, he'll be risking his life with you. Speak up. Joan Smeedy trembled for a moment and whispered, When I pushed him, there was a slight movement on his elbow. I understand now, you either shoot him with one shot or don't touch him. Now, let's make a loss. Joan Smeedy muttered softly, Shoot at any moment, then I'll waste learning those capture techniques at the police academy. What? What are you saying? I'm warning you, one day you'll be shot in the head. Wait. After Wang Dengming finished speaking, he silently left the police station. During dinner, Wang Dengming returned and said to Jones Meddy, Tom Dunk is not a very talkative person and has some background. I approached the town mayor, and Tom Dunk promised not to pay any mental damages or work loss fees, nor to hire a lawyer, but to pay for medical expenses. This amount is $40,000. How much money do you have on you? Jones Meddy bit her lip and said, I only have $800. 800. Jones Meddy nodded affirmatively. Wang Dengming couldn't help but laugh and said, 40,000 yuan, you only have 800 yuan. How can you give it to me? Tell me, that guy is still lying in the hospital and won't be able to come out in less than 10.5 days. Your kick is too harsh, it's the rhythm of losing children and grandchildren. Tom Dwanka almost went to the ICU intensive care unit, don't you need to be so harsh? I was derelict in this regard, I didn't consider him being so disrespectful. Can't withstand fighting. Can that place withstand fighting? Wang Dengming has a silent sense of humor. Okay, it's me who didn't handle this matter well, Sheriff. $40,000, for me, it's astronomical. You can borrow some from your friend. My friends are all poor. What about your family? Ask them for it. Me, my family, Jones Meddy lowered her head, hesitated and couldn't say anything for a long time. Beauty, if you don't pay for the medical expenses, they will really find a lawyer, and then it won't be 40,000 yuan. If I had known earlier, I would have shot that bastard with one shot. It's no use saying this now. In one sentence, you just don't have money now, don't you? Jones Meddy nodded and said, yes, I'm considering borrowing money from the bank. The bank requires a guarantor. You can be my guarantor, I promise I won't breach the contract. Why did you make me your guarantor? I know you alone in this town, and you are the only guarantor I can choose from. In other words, I have no choice. Wang Dengming was speechless with his mouth open. Sheriff, can you make a statement? Jones Meddy looked really panicked, her appearance had a pitiful and delicate taste. Wang Dengming scratched his head and chuckled, I'm unlucky. I owe you something in my previous life. How could I have met such a peculiar subordinate like you? 40,000. I can just raise 40,000. Instead of looking for a bank, why don't I lend you it? You have to repay me, you won't just watch me go bankrupt. Jones Meddy smiled brightly and said, Sheriff, no, boss, thank you. Thank you very much. Wang Dengming replied weakly, don't say thank you, I just won't charge you any interest. Jones Meddy was happy for a while and said with a hint of energy, why do you have so much money? How did you get it? Jones Meddy's tone clearly carried some kind of extraneous content. To put it bluntly, did you come by mistake or did you come with extra money? Wang Dengming wanted to cry and said, Officer Jones Meddy, we Chinese people are not like you Americans. We spend as much money as we do in advance, but it's all the money I've saved over the past 3 years to save on food and drink. You have to repay me. Okay, I will definitely repay you, but it will take me a long time to afford such a large amount. No matter how long it takes for her to get married, even if she doesn't get married, Wang Dengming can't bite her. Who gave him such a beautiful female subordinate? Being cheap is not guilty, and sometimes being cheap is also a realm. Some people are born with strong genes for being cheap, and Wang Dengming admits that he has it from his mother's womb. The next day, Wang Dengming raised all the money on his body, including the money in his wallet, to 40,000 yuan and gave it to Tom Dunk. He only had $300 left. Jones Meddy has 1,000 on her body, and 2 people have 1,100, and she will have to endure until the day of her salary. After handling this matter, Jones Meddy looked at Wang Dengming in a different light. In the office, she asked Wang Dengming a question. Boss, what if I can't pay back this money? Indeed, a human tragedy has occurred. She asked and took the initiative to ask. Wang Dengming stared and said, "What's going on? Crossing the river and demolishing the bridge. Now. I don't want to pay back the money." "No, no, boss. What I mean is, what if I don't pay back, what if I don't say I won't pay back? It's easy, sell yourself to pay off the debt. If the boss is willing to do that, I have no objection." "Not at all," Jones said with a seductive smile in his eyes. Wang Dengming suddenly felt confused. Sheriff Wang's appearance cannot be seen by himself, and of course Jones Meddy sees it very well. "You're amazing, you're the most amazing intern in the American police force. Boss, what do you want to say? Isn't it impressive that you ruined your boss as soon as you arrived? Sheriff, you're even better. How to say it? You just got promoted and ended up soaking the most amazing intern female police officer in America." She stood and spun beautifully in front of Wang Dengming. The thief smiled and asked, "Is it worth it?" Wang Dengming bit his cheek and didn't speak yet. After Jones and Meddy gave him a blatant flirtatious look, he left the office with a light-footed demeanor as if nothing had happened. What's wrong? The logic is fine, and the grammar seems to be fine. The sheriff finally came to his senses. What does this rookie want to do? What exactly does she want to do? End of this chapter.